The most significant Thursday game of the season. The Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks with the NFC West and the top seed in the conference on the line. It's a rainy day at Seattle, and the rain continued onwards early this morning with tarp covering the field to protect it for game day. And we anticipated that it was going to continue. The rain has so far dissipated, so now it is only clouds. But don't be surprised if or when that rain comes back for tonight's game. A pair of 11-win teams, the Rams, the Seahawks. Winner takes first in the NFC West. LA was the first team to punch their ticket to the NFL playoffs this year with their victory over the Detroit Lions. Seattle wanting to make the playoffs and being the third team to do so. The Rams' 21-19 victory in the first matchup was a dogfight. Sam Darnold struggled with 4 interceptions, but he also had the Seahawks a few yards away from potentially winning it. And that's now the backdrop for an exciting and consequential matchup that's going to have a massive effect on how the playoff field in the NFC is going to shape out. Hello everyone, I am Alec Nava. Welcome to Lumen Field at Seattle, Washington. The Rams looking to sweep the Seahawks, and Matthew Stafford looking to improve to 7-0 against the Seahawks. So how to do this for LA? First, they will have to get interior pressure on Darnold. Darnold consistently struggles with pressure, but it's not just any pressure. Interior pressure is where he struggles the most. The Rams will not win this game if they can't take away the immediate throw, force Darnold to double clutch the ball, and then make him uncomfortable with pressure inside. A big difference will be Jalen Sundell returning at center instead of Olu Oluwadami for the Seahawks. They are without left tackle Charles Cross, but this also isn't last season when the Seahawks replaced it with Stone Forsythe. In the last 2 years, Chris Shula and the Rams have put out the blueprint for beating a Darnold offense, doing this with interior stunts and simulated pressures. That type of pressure Darnold has consistently struggled against. If the Rams are going to win, it starts with forcing him into negative plays and mistakes. To do that, make him uncomfortable. Without pressure, Darnold is 5th in the NFL in EPA per dropback. Under pressure, he drops to 24th at minus 0.53 EPA per dropback. Under pressure, it's a 5.5% turnover-worthy play compared to 2.6% when kept clean. That means that guys like Jared Verse, Byron Young, and Kobe Turner need to have big gains for the Rams. The Rams need to set up obvious passing situations that defense thrives on. On early downs, the Seahawks encounter stuffed runs 75 times, the most in the league. The Rams have to stop the run early to earn the ability to rush the passer. They are catching Darnold at a fascinating time. In the last 2 years, Darnold has shown that he can keep his level over the course of 17 games. His EPA per dropback cuts in half from .21 in the first 9 weeks of the season to .11 in the final 9 weeks of the season. His turnover-worthy throw percentage jumps from 3.6% to 5.1%. And since week 11, he is 2 for 20 on tight window throws. His season shifted after the first loss to the Rams last year, and has shifted again after playing the same team this season. The Rams need to do better on third down, especially against Seattle, because over the past 2 games against them, this Rams offense has struggled on third down. They were 2 for 11 back in week 11 and 3 for 14 in the second game last year. LA won both games, but that simply is not going to cut it. The Rams lost the time possession battle 37-49 to 22-11. Between the second and third quarters, the Rams ran 15 plays, were 0 for 3 on third down, and held the ball for 556. During that same span, the Seahawks ran 45 plays and held the ball for 23-54. That type of ball control cannot happen if the Rams were to win. They have to be able to set themselves up in third and manageable situations. Even if the Rams aren't necessarily finishing drives in the end zone or even scoring, They can't go 3 and out every time they have the ball. Offensively, the Rams need to find ways to not rely on explosives and be able to sustain drives. Third is to take advantage of turnover opportunities. The Rams turned the ball over 4 times against the Seahawks and managed to win by just 2 points. Shows just how important creating turnovers is against the Seahawks team. While the Seahawks may be 11-3, they are the only team in the NFL with 20 or more turnovers to have a winning record. They are second in the NFL in turnovers behind the Minnesota Vikings. It's also not just Darnold. The Seahawks lead the NFL in fumbles with 11. Between Nate Landman forcing fumbles and the Rams defense having 13 interceptions, this has been an opportunistic defense this season. Chris Shula's group has one turnover over the past 3 weeks. It feels as if they are overdue for a multi-turnover game. This might be just the one. It's also worth noting that wind is projected to be an issue, and there's a chance of rain. That could make both offenses more susceptible to turnovers. Winning that battle may end up being the difference in this game. And we have to know if the Rams can find a way to run the ball. Going back to the second point of doing better on third down. Starting with setting the offense up in good situations with favorable third down distances. In Week 11, the Rams have 3 third and 10-plus situations in addition to 3 more third and 6 situations. Getting less than 5 yards in 2 plays is not ideal. This season, the Rams have averaged a 49.1% rushing success rate. Against the Seahawks, that was 31.8%. Kyren Williams had 12 carries for 91 yards. But that's not telling the full story. Take away the 2 30-yard runs from Williams, and he had 10 carries for 27 yards. If you move his third run 10 yards, he averaged 1.9 yards per carry, which isn't much different than Blake Corum's 1.3. Seattle's defense is one of the best in the NFL. They are first in EPA per rush. The explosive runs could create opportunities for the offense and are important, but it's also important for the Rams to stay ahead of the chains. In the last 3 games, Corum is averaging over 9 yards per carry, essentially getting a first down per rushing attempt. The Rams have found a good balance in the run game between Williams and Corum as they've become a 2-headed monster at the position. This season, the Rams have been 50-50 when it comes to running man/duo or zone. The Seahawks are big inside, and they have the speed to move laterally. They are uniquely fit to stop the Rams' double teams inside and take away the cutback lanes and wide inside. However, Seattle is allowing the 6th most yards per carry on inside zone runs this season. The overall success rate is still just 44%, but it's the one spot in the run game where they've shown to be vulnerable. Goes what the Rams are doing as they are league average on inside runs. With that said, it may be worth a shot. And the last point, who is the second option now that Davante Adams is out? Seattle's defense is uniquely built in a way that makes this difficult. The Rams choose to get teams into their base defense. With Nick Emanwari, the Seahawks can just match it with nickel. Back in Week 11, the Rams lined up in 13 personnel 19 times, and the Seahawks matched it with base 3 times. The offense had minus .55 EPA per play and a 21% success rate. Offensively, the Rams went from averaging 4.7 yards per play out of 13 personnel to 3 weeks prior to 2.7 yards per play. That doesn't mean the Rams abandoned it. That's still a Seahawks defense that struggled to defend tight ends at times. Donner Helm had 6 receptions for 51 yards. TJ Hawkinson, 6 catches, 59 yards. Kyle Pitts, 6 receptions, 90 yards. Without Adams, the Rams are going to need to find a second option in the passing game outside of Puka Nacua. Given how Colby Parkinson had played over the past month, he makes sense. He had a career-high 75 yards last week, and that doesn't mention that he has 6 touchdowns in his last 6 games. Additionally, Terrence Ferguson has gotten more involved, and this is a game in which it would be a nice breakout from him, given his size. Ferguson can find a similar role to Adams as far as moving across the field and winning vertically. But the receiver's also going to have to step up. The Rams are going to be able to live in 13 personnel in the game. The Rams paid Tutu Atwell in the offseason, and this would be a great game for him to earn that. Kanata Mumpfield may see more opportunities as well. Someone else in the receiver room outside Nacua is going to have to step up. Now on to the Rams, where we look at them now. For the Seahawks, Seattle was a 14-point favorite against the Phillip Rivers-led Indianapolis Colts, and they needed a 56-yard field goal with 18 seconds left to pull off the win. 2 games in which the Seahawks have appeared to come out completely flat happened to be the loss to the Giants last year and the win over the Colts this year. Both instances, it was the game preceding a key Thursday night football game against a division rival. Last year was a matchup against the 49ers. This year, the Rams. McDonald may need to figure things out when they play twice in 5 days. Who knows? But a lot of the difference comes down to, everything here Between Seattle cutting ties with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, the offense, however, hasn't missed a beat. Besides the growth of Jackson Smith-Njigba, the biggest thing that Seattle's offense has done to move the ball at such a torrid hot pace is to convince the rest of the NFL that they want to run the ball early and often, inviting opponents to stack the box. Once opponents do that, Quint Kubiak has been great at generating explosive plays, in particular to JSN, who has been phenomenal and has been an unstoppable force, playing like he's the best receiver in the NFL. A lot of Darnold's production for the year this season has come from using heavy personnel groupings and then taking advantage of secondaries that don't have enough bodies on the field to cover JSN well enough to slow him down. Teams have used extensive nickel and dime packages while mixing coverage rotations and presenting a consistent pass rush, having befuddled Darnold enough to greatly hamstring the offense at times. Of the 4 interceptions he threw against the first matchup against the Rams, 2 came on third down and another was first and 20. Long story short, he struggles in passing situations and under pressure. So if opponents are able to put him under pressure in passing situations, that is often a recipe for disaster. So now, looking at the Seahawks defense on how they match up in personnel usage. For a Rams team that is without Adams, they may be leaning on their tight ends even more than they did in the first matchup, especially since there's not another wide receiver with more than 17 targets. They had just out 13, playing less of it expected in Week 11 against the Hawks, but that was with both wideouts healthy. In the most recent game, last week against Detroit, the Rams lined up in 13 personnel in 65% of the plays. That hasn't been done in 20 years, according to John Gruden on his weekly preview show. Ian Genge has been playing well since he's been back from injury. He can be deployed to slot, linebacker, down safety, deep safety, on the edge. He's done well in a litany of assignments. He is 1/3 of a season wiser since the last time he played against Sean McVay's offense. He's also a strong defensive rookie of the year contender. Mike McDonald talked about how the team has specific ways they communicate Ian Genge's positioning and responsibilities, going to say that Seahawks have never really had a player like him. He had a second consecutive contest of a sack against the Colts and was Seattle's second leading tackler. He showed up in coverage as a blitzer and against the run. Maybe McDonald's answer to the enigma of how to stop LA's multi-tight end offense. So as we go on to our starting lines, to begin with the visiting Los Angeles Rams. Under center, Matthew Stafford. The running back is Kyren Williams. The receivers are Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua. And tight ends are Davis Allen and Colby Parkinson. Could see a mix of Terrence Ferguson in as well. Offensive line, Alaric Jackson, Steve Avila, Coleman Shelton, Kevin Dotson, and Warren McClendon Jr. Their defense, up front are Puna Ford and Kobe Turner. Edge rushers are Byron Young and Jared Verse. The inside linebackers are Nate Landman and Omar Spates. Outside corners are Kobe Durant and Emmanuel Forbes Jr. The slot corner is Josh Wallace. The deep safeties are Cam Curl and Cameron Kinchins. On special teams, the kicker is Harrison Mevis, punters Ethan Evans, and the long snapper is Jake McQuaid. And the return men are Jordan Whittington and Xavier Smith. For the Seahawks, the home team, it begins with Sam Darnold under center. Running back is Kenneth Walker III. The outside receivers are Jackson Smith-Njigba and Rashid Shaheed. The slot receiver is Cooper Kupp. The tight end is A.J. Barner. Offensive line, Josh Jones, Gray Zabel, Jalen Sundell, Anthony Bradford, and Abe Lucas. On defense, up front are Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy II. The outside edge rushers are DeMarcus Lawrence and Uchenna Nwosu. The inside linebackers are Drake Thomas and Ernest Jones IV, a former Ram. Outside corners are Devon Witherspoon and Josh Jobe. Slot corner, Nick Emanwari. The deep safeties are Julian Love and Kobe Bryant. The kicker is Jason Myers, punter Michael Dixon, long snapper Chris Stoll, and the return men are Shaheed and Cody White. We're all ready to go here. Everyone's lined up for Seattle to clinch. All they need is a win. Tonight's winner controls the path to the NFC's number 1 seed. So that's what's at the line here between these two teams. Sean McVay, the head coach of the Rams. Mike McDonald is the head coach of the Seahawks. It is 50 degrees Fahrenheit, but it feels like 39. Wind gusts are at 30 miles per hour, and there's light drizzle in the area. You know, Seattle is a city that gets a lot of rain. Seahawks win the toss. They will defer as Myers kicks it off. Let's get rocking and rolling. Return from the 1 by Whittington. Past the 25 and brought down at the 30. Oh, he shook off the tackle. And you might want to second guess that one because he went back to the 28. Matthew Stafford, the front runner for the MVP, coming out for the first time tonight with 37 touchdown passes, which leads the NFL. He has 11 wins as starter, which is tied for the second most in his career. His previous career high was his 12 in his Super Bowl winning year in 2021, his first year with the LA Rams. Stafford guiding this offense as they all get set up. Davante Adams is without a jersey. He is out for tonight of a hamstring injury. Nakua, who has been in the subject of controversy earlier this week, in motion left, early run to Williams, gets tripped up, stays on his feet with an extra push around the 35 and about a 7-yard gain for Williams on the early run. All the Rams running backs are short kings, as you may say. Ronnie Rivers, 5'9", Blake Corum, 5'8", Kai Williams, 5'9". That does not include the 5'10", Jarquez Hunter, who has a healthy scratch tonight. 8 yards on that first run from Williams. It's 2nd and 2. Allen is the fullback. They'll go back to Williams. Williams shakes off the first tackle, trying to reach for that first down, and does not. Down by contact, despite the Seahawks trying to plea that he fumbled it, is 1 yard shy. The stop made by DeMarcus Lawrence, the ex-Cowboy. Clint Kubiak wanting to get this offense going early, or rather this is Sean McVay. Mike LaFleur is the offensive coordinator. McDonald, previously the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. Seahawks in the gray uniforms, the rivals uniforms. Motioning right is Ferguson, and this takes a bobble intended for Nakua. And an early 4th down situation. If Nakua and Stafford going off, you may never know that these offenses these days would be going somewhere. They're going into the backside. Stafford got it off a little too early. Eamon Worry tried to bat it off. 4th and 1. And the Rams are going to go for it here. 65% probability in which they convert it on a 4th and 1 per the analytics. These offenses are used to going for it nowadays on 4th and 1. Seattle stacks up the line. Through the middle, it is Williams, and they get the first down. Needed 1. He got 3. And a good job by Mike LaFleur calling the shots on this offense. Sean McVay also calling the shots on this offense. Marcus Lawrence actually got the early jump into getting towards Williams, shedding the block from Davis Allen, the backup tight end. The Rams are using more multi-tight end packages more often than not with this offense ever since Davante Adams went down. And it's back to Williams. Williams with an extra push, 7 yards. The tackle by Kobe Bryant. And we just got word that Jacoby Myers has agreed to a 3-year extension worth $60 million total with the Jacksonville Jaguars immediately upon Jacksonville trading for him. He publicly asked the Las Vegas Raiders. He wanted out of that team. And he got his wish, headed to Jacksonville. Surprise playoff team this season. 2nd and 3, single back is Williams. On the motion is Allen again. Williams one more time. He has the first down. The run takes it to the 48-yard line, Seattle territory. And LA is up and going. Nick Eamon, the front runner for defensive rookie of the year, looking to make his mark early in this game. Product of South Carolina, the Gamecock. Single back is Williams one more time. The Rams love going to him. This time it's a play fake. Stafford escapes the pressure. He's going to take it and run for it and slides at the 43 in Seattle territory. As we get Ian on board, well, how are you doing tonight?
Well, the entire Chiefs fan base is melting down. On top of the fact that the season's over, it just got announced that very likely the Chiefs are moving to Kansas. So, Yeah, everything is whew. I'll tell you, Alec, it's certainly something. That's for sure.
Well, complicated feelings here and there. And it's a pivotal game between these two, the Rams and Seahawks. The winner controls the 1 seed and the NFC West. The Rams won the earlier game, 21-19, a game in which Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions. He's been solid the first half of the season, but the Rams are catching up to the Seahawks at the most opportune time. This is a time in which Darnold usually slows down. Here's Stafford throwing to the right, and he finds Terrence Ferguson, the Oregon Duck. Shy at the first down, he was backed up a ton. And the rookie out of Oregon, he was pushed the wrong way, trying to stay upright. Where are they going to mark him? Is the question. With Davante Adams down, you would imagine that some of these guys step up in his absence. Now, did they rule that forward progress is stopped? Yes, they did. They're going to rule 4th and inches. Seahawks fans are going to disagree with that, given that Ferguson kind of sort of went backwards there on 4th and inches. Motioning right is Ferguson. They'll give it to Williams. Williams, second effort. That is very close. The line judge comes in. Seattle says that he is stopped short. They converted on 4th and 1 earlier. Seattle thinks they did the stop. We may need a measurement. Yeah, so we're going to get the virtual measurement. So no need to get the chain gang out. That is the rule change from this offseason. That virtual measurement is now the way to go here. Virtual measurement is how they do it in tennis and in soccer for how they determine if the ball is in or if somebody scored or somebody is offside. So, and from the angle that we got, it looks like Seattle made the stop, Ian. With the virtual measurement, so the first down marker, yeah, he is short by a full foot. And Seattle is made aware of that. It's a turnover on downs that Seahawks will go to work right afterwards when we come back. So I don't know much about this potential move to Kansas City, Kansas. But my goodness.
Yeah, yeah, Alec, I don't really look. Honestly, we kind of knew this was coming for a while. I don't know. You know, they had the chance to hatch it out, and they couldn't do it.
Do you keep it at Arrowhead?
Oh, God, no. No. They're moving from Arrowhead, and unfortunately, they're going to be a dome stadium now.
Oh, boy. What's the obsession with dome stadiums these days?
I don't know, man. It's the grift. It's the stadium grift.
Yeah, that's what Tree pointed out in one of his videos.
Yeah, although, you know what? Look, even with the Chiefs being out of the playoffs, I am not melting down about this. We've been over this before. You don't have a down year at least once during all the winning. Eventually, you'll just be mediocre.
That's the truth. And a down year sometimes is to be expected. And now the focus is on Brett Veach having the off season of his life, as I was believed to have. And I know another looming decision, Travis Kelce is with the impending will he, won't he on retirement. So if the Chiefs don't go running back, I think they go tight end in the first round.
No. First round, they're going edge rusher. They had to go edge rusher. They could not. They could pressure the quarterback, but they couldn't sack the quarterback to save their life.
I can also agree with that notion about edge rusher, right opposite Karlaftis. You need to get a formidable duo between these two.
He's the power, but he's the bull rusher, but we need a speed guy.
A perfect compliment. Right, so now we have Sam Darnold leading the Seahawks. They're wearing their alternate uniforms with green numbers. First place, a play fake as Darnold gets it off over to A.J. Barner, and Barner's pushed ahead for a catch and run of 7 yards. The extra push from Jared Verse, last year's Defensive Rookie of the Year, going up against the potential Defensive Rookie of the Year this year, Nick Eamon-Worry, who's part of that stout Seattle defense. That's Devon Witherspoon, Kobe Bryant, and Josh Jobe, who has been named the starter in the place of Tariq Woolen, who was demoted to backup. To the left is Walker. He'll get the first down. Forced out of bounds by Nate Landman, who came over in free agency from Atlanta. Quint Kubiak came over from the New Orleans Saints to be the Seahawks offensive coordinator. Lasted 1 year. And that was the final year of Dennis Allen as the Saints head coach. Darren Reese was the interim after Allen's firing. Motioning right is Nick Vanette. Another play fake. Darnold hurried up, going back for Walker. Gets several blockers. First down and more. Walker, another block from Gray Zabel. A second one. He's inside the 10. Down at the 5. Gray Zabel set that up. The first round pick. The first round selection showcasing why he was picked in the first round by the Seahawks as he set up that running lane nearly all by himself, blocking off Landman and ensuring that Walker has enough running space. He followed him all throughout, and nice block. And now Seattle's at the LA 5. Cooper Kupp, motioning left and right, playing for his hometown team. Toss to him in front. Kupp gets one. The Rams know him all too well. Kupp is a former Super Bowl MVP with the Rams. He was especially crucial on that final drive against the Cincinnati Bengals in Super Bowl 56. And even though his numbers aren't quite the same, his championship winning experience is all that valuable to the Seahawks. Second and goal from the 4-yard line of Kupp position towards the right. Motioning left is Nick Vanette, the backup tight end with the injury to Elijah Arroyo. Hand off, Zach Charbonnet, touchdown through the middle. Seattle's on the board first, and Charbonnet gets his 9th rushing touchdown of the season. That took 5 plays of 2:41 of clock time for Seattle to capitalize off the turnover on downs. A missed tackle by Nate Landman, and it's on from there. Bulldozing up ahead to cap off that precise, effortless drive. Extra point from Myers, nearly blocked but made it through. And Seattle is up early 7-0. The takeaway, and then Gray Zabel. How do you do? Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, you name it. The Seahawks are on top first. We'll return.
Oh, man. 2025 has been a year, Alec.
I mean, such a weird year of football all throughout.
Well, I'm not just talking football. By the way, do you do commercial breaks on your live streams like John does?
Yeah, so when we go to break, I know when, yes. But hey, we can talk during these commercial breaks.
All right. No, I just want to be sure because, dude, I don't know how often you pay attention to it, but man, Some groups have taken it on the chin on the internet.
What in the internet?
This year.
Oh man.
One of those being, oh my god, it was to the VTuber. Oh.
Oh, more drama in the VTuber community? Oh.
There has been an internet group quite as hard as VTubers have. And honestly, it started at the beginning of, or at the end of 2024. And it just carried. Wow.
Just, I don't know how that could happen.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, I know for it's been such a crazy year, all throughout. There's no words to describe it. As Myers, he kicks it off. It's bobbled and picked up again from the far side, returned to the 24. That has to be Ronnie Rivers, who bobbled it first. He still fielded it, but talk about the weirdness of the season, in which the playoffs will not see the Chiefs. It will not. It sees the Bengals having a double-digit loss season. The AFC North could be decided between the Steelers and Ravens, and the Ravens might not make it. The Patriots are back, albeit on that schedule. They've got the NFC being the superior conference now. Polka motions right, then goes back left. Stafford goes to him, and he gets forced out past the first down marker. We have more on him later, once we get to a break, and then I'll break out the recent news regarding Puka Nacua, and this has been one of the craziest heel turns that I've ever seen from any NFL player this season. This started off. 11th play of this game for the Rams. They have 32 total yards. The Seahawks have total 61 on 5 plays alone. And a first down as a run through the middle. They said that Puka got 9 yards on the previous one. This is Blake Corum, who got 5 yards. The University of Michigan product, who won a national championship with Jim Harbaugh. And Corum and Donovan Edwards shared the backfield with the Wolverines. He's once again sharing the backfield. Again, the Rams are one of 3 teams with a pair of 600-yard rushers. The other 2 being the Lions and the Bears. Stafford's going to pass. Throwing towards the left. Wide open as Davis Allen. Past the 40. And he is down at the 35. Drake Thomas stopped him at the 33. Boyan Maffei was also there, but Davis Allen, the backup tight end, lined up as a wide receiver at the left side, so that creates the mismatch. Sean McVay and Mike LaFleur want to use their tight ends more in the absence of Davante Adams. And going to a guy like Allen can make a lot of sense. You can mix in Terrence Ferguson and Colby Parkinson. Here, Allen is the fullback. Corum, the runner, towards the left. And turns a negative play onto a gain of 5. Stopped at the 30. Mike McDonald, a defensive-minded coach. He is the head coach of the Seahawks. His defensive coordinator is Aiden Durde. And speaking of the Harbaugh family, Jay Harbaugh is the special teams coordinator for the Seahawks. Meanwhile, Corum, who is on Jim's Wolverines during the Natty run, has 5 touchdowns on the run this season. 2nd and 5 with Jordan Whittington in the backfield. Play fake, Stafford in trouble. and dropped. Wide open behind the line of scrimmage was Davis Allen. So it's 3rd and 5 coming up. And should have had that one because he had more space to run. Boye Maffei was right at Stafford's face. And Stafford tried to sidearm it to Allen. And it slipped through Allen's hands. He could not let that opportunity slip. 4:30 to go. And the Seahawks wanting to decibel this place up. Empty set for the Rams. 3 right and 2 left. Terrence Ferguson's tight end to the right of McClendon. Seahawks blitz. Stafford airs it out towards the left. It's overthrown. And the coverage is perfect from Josh Jobe, the former Eagle. Good recovery as that pass was intended towards Kanata Mumpfield, the rookie out of Pitt. What a nice job by McDonald to get that going. The Rams offense is staying out there for 4th and 5. It's a 41% conversion probability. The analytics say a toss-up, but I don't like this particularly, though the rain could have something to do with that. We don't know yet. Stafford, flag is down, and the pass is caught anyway by Puka Nacua. In tight, one-on-one against Josh Jobe. 7 yards, but we have to check out the penalty. Brad Allen's going to tell us the rest. He is our referee tonight. Marcus Woods, the umpire. Sarah Thomas, the down judge. The penalty is an offside penalty, so it was a free play. So either way, it would have been a first down. The Rams are going to take the yardage from Puka. 7 yards on the catch. He managed to create the space on the motion left. Nice find for him. And he comes out with the heads to snag it away from Jobe. Somehow he got this one and he would not let that one go as Jobe tried to wrestle it away from his arms. The Rams risked turning the ball over on downs, but it was a free play, so they're going to take it anyway. First down nonetheless, with 4:15 to go in this first quarter. Single back, Corum is the running back. On motion, right, Ferguson. You go up one-on-one with Witherspoon. Play fake to Corum. Now Stafford rolls out right. Throws it wide open. First down catch. Mumpfield inside the 5 and down at the 4. The rookie out of Pitt is rolling here. And that sets up 1st and goal with an opportunity to tie the game. But passing up on the field goal to extend the drive is a very risky maneuver, but that time Stafford, McVay, and LaFleur made it work. Stafford 5 of 8 with 64 yards at this point in the first quarter. They marked Mumpfield down to 5. Now it's a jumbo set with Corum as the running back. They give it to him. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Leonard Williams was there, and so was Jaron Reed. It'll be 2nd and goal. And Davante Adams will want to have his guys show up the others around Puka. And as in this area is where Davante would usually take over and get a touchdown catch. They don't have that right now, so they have to go to the tight ends. Colby Parkinson's out there. Kanata Mumpfield is out there. It is Nacua motioning towards the left. Here is Corum on the outside handoff, and he loses one. Devon Witherspoon came up to blow that play. The 3rd-year corner out of Illinois makes it 3rd and goal from the 6. And one of the elite quarters of this game, showcasing his talents. This is one of the best defensive lines that Seattle has had in their history. Even and maybe up there with the Michael Bennett, Cliff Averill years. Between Leonard Williams and company. Stafford looking for the end zone catch. Nacua caught it at the goal line. Did he get in? No. Marked half a yard short. Josh Jobe shut the door. And Sean McVay wants a closer look. Nacua a little banged up, but the concern is on someone else. We have an injured Ram on the play. As Nakua, he creates separation one-on-one with Job. Looking to get an edge on the inside, Job and Eamon Worry said, no, sir. It's 4th and short at the 1-yard line. So a chance for LA to get set. We'll step away. The right guard, Kevin Dotson, is hurt. He is replaced by Justin Dedich, the second-year man. 4th and goal. You need only a third of the way in. Stafford's going to throw it. Back in the end zone. Touchdown! Flag comes in late. Terrence Ferguson. Quack. Quack. It looks like illegal man downfield. I thought they were running the football, but no, it's an ineligible man downfield. That negates the touchdown. Oh boy. And when it looked like it was a touchdown, no it wasn't. Now Harrison Mevis is going to come in to kick the field goal. It was a run-pass option play. It was confirmed ineligible man downfield with Dedich getting a step ahead. One too many as Ferguson made the catch at the back of the end zone. So the ball comes back to the 5-yard line. Just shy of it. 1/3 the way through. Now Harrison Mevis, who was picked up after the Rams waived Joshua Carty after several missed field goals and several special teams issues. They had problems early with that. They addressed it with Mevis and bringing back Jake McQuaid for a second stint with the organization. This is from 23 yards, position at the left hash. It's up, and there's no doubt about this one. Rams on the board. So instead of 6, they get 3. Seattle is still on top 7-3. 1:43 to go in this first quarter. So we're sticking with you right now. And at this time, we are going to introduce you to the newest case of dramas, Puka Nacua and his brother Samson Nacua. Now, to a bit of controversy earlier this week, that he got himself into a bit of drama, that Puka initially got into a bit of drama with his girlfriend about if his girlfriend's kid is actually his or not. She asked the court to confirm the paternity results. is now saying he won't get married in the future because of this. Just the most mild of it. Said something odd on the sidelines at times. It sounded like he's blaming his teammates, disguised as encouragement. But when the things really start to go off the rails, is when he took his phone to the locker room and live streamed, despite multiple requests from training staff to stop. Then getting into a live stream 2 days ago with Aiden Ross, of all people, saying that all of this, that the refs are corrupt, only make calls to get on TV. Doing a Jew dance the next time he scores a touchdown consisted of specific gestures I will not describe because of its nature, controversial nature. And as it's kicked off, onto the end zone as Rashid Shaheed takes a knee. So Seattle will start for the 35. They said after the Bonnie Beach attack, that said that concussions don't exist, but ACL tears are real. And then finally, his brother Samson, who threw a cheap shot at fight back in college at BYU and knocked the player out, stole a car from Los Angeles Lakers rookie Adu Tiero. So this is, oh my goodness, too much to unpack. And we have one more part of this right after we get to this play as Sean McVay trying to encourage his guys. This is a heavy set. Motioning left is Barner with the run from Charbonnet up the middle. He breaks free from several tackles and gets 9 yards on this initial run. So let's not forget that Samson did have a fan of USFL post-game for trash talking to his teammates and thought trash talking teammates, he has the same issue. Everything being in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. 2nd and 1. Right after this run up the middle from Charbonnet, who's still out there. Play fake, Darnold being rushed, wide open, dropped by Barner. Kobe Durant wanted to rush in and stop him short at the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 1. Clock stops with 1:08 to play. And you would think that Kenneth Walker III would get the call for this situation. Byron Young and Jared Verse once again taking the shots on the outside edges. Quint Kubiak is the Seahawks offensive coordinator up against Chris Shula, the Rams defensive coordinator. This is a shotgun set. And motioning towards the right is Rashid Shaheed. Darnold to throw it. Towards the left. Broken up. And that is Emmanuel Forbes. With his 16th pass broken up this season. A very testy tenure with the Washington Commanders early in his career. But now he gets the call from LA and has revived himself and put himself as a position as CB1. The toughness of Forbes. To knock Jackson Smith-Njigba off balance on the catch attempt. Wrapped him up. Did not allow him any chance. Michael Dixon to punt. The Aussie from Sydney, New South Wales. This is off. To return it is Xavier Smith, who calls for the fair catch back at the 12-yard line. 58 seconds left as Stafford warms up, getting ready to go. The Rams and Seahawks in an NFC West showdown. We will return in a moment. inside the final minute of the first quarter. It is 7-3 Seahawks. With the Rams having the ball, they start up possession with the ball in this game because the Seahawks defer to the second half. A lot of Christmas decorations coming out. We're a week away from Christmas. And a rainy night in Seattle. Things can turn around in an instant here. The Rams will start from their own 12-yard line. Do they have a big play in them? Without Davante Adams, they're going to go 88 yards at distance if they were to score a touchdown. On the motion right is Nakua. Off the play fake Stafford. Throwing a dart down the middle for Nakua, who adjusts and breaks free. Past midfield. Stiff arms Job. And down near the 30. Excuse me, that was Woolen who he stiff armed. But with 43 seconds left, Puka Nakua take it deep down the field off the adjustment on the deep inside a post route. Right by Tariq Woolen, who he stiff-armed right onto his face, jumping up to make the catch, and got by Kobe Bryant. It's a foot race off there for the races. Julian Love was there to catch up. In the meantime, 4 catches, 74 yards for Nakua this early in the game. And here's Williams off the run. He makes the first tackle. Reinforcements come in. Took a 2-yard loss into a 3-yard gain. How about a hard-earned run like that? And that's how the first quarter ends. The Seahawks up 7-3. After 15 minutes, the lone touchdown from Zach Charbonnet. After a touchdown was called back on Terrence Ferguson. The second quarter is next. On Christmas, it's the Dallas Cowboys and Washington Commanders, Detroit Lions and Minnesota Vikings, wrapping up the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. For the Christmas slate, next Thursday night, 2nd and 8, motioning left is Colby Parkinson, a former Seahawk. Stafford dropping back, now steps up away for the pressure, going deep for Nakua, it's overthrown. He wanted the home run ball, was close to get it. 3rd and 8 now. So it was a run of 2 yards for Kyron Williams. different personnel groups, mix and match, and some confusion between Stafford and Nakua. They were not on the same page, even though Puka had the double move one-on-one with Josh Jobe, the former Eagle. 3rd and 8 with this rain coming down. It's drizzle. Here's Stafford up the middle, and it's caught wide open. And past the 15, it is Jordan Whittington down at the 13 where forward progress is stopped. And then we have some trash talk between him and Julian Love, the ex-New York Giant. The blitz was coming out from the left side from Devon Witherspoon out of the slot. Stafford able to beat that one out by finding Whittington on the post route. Waiting for that to get open, an area in which he has excelled at finding. That's at the 1st and 10. Stafford already has 142 passing yards in his possible MVP season. Left side, now right is Williams. Trying to find room, he gets 5 yards. A healthy gain. So the injury return is Kevin Dotson. It's questionable to return. The part of the body injured is the ankle. So he is dealing with the ankle injury. Justin Didich is filling in at right guard in his absence. Dotson, former Pittsburgh Steeler, 6-year man out of Louisiana. And Didich, 2nd-year man out of USC on the Rams. Filling in for the injured Dotson. 2nd and 5 from the 8. Inside run for Williams, trying to cut around. Close to a first down. He is at the 5, so it's 3rd and 2. You'll think that the Rams would want to go for the touchdown, not just the first down. Mike McDonald, of course, one of the best at calling the shots on defense. He's one of the youngest bright minds in the NFL. So Terrence Ferguson's out there on the field. Is there some redemption for him after that touchdown was called back on him for an ineligible man downfield? Davis Allen motions left. And a single back. I believe that's Corum. Now Allen motions back right. On the play fake, Stafford's looking for first down. Dropped. Looking towards Allen. Decisions now. 4th and 2. Do you go for it? Or do you kick the field goal? Ferguson did have a touchdown catch before. Now it's 4th and 2. You can focus on the first down first. And then the touchdown. You want to get on the run here. It's a 4th down attempt tonight, which is tied for the most of the game under McVay. 4th and 2, with the single back being Blake Corum. Allen motions towards the right. Seahawks trying to shift their defense. And the Rams call timeout. Or rather, the flag is thrown. Wow, I thought that the timeout was going to be called. And Stafford wanted to try to draw the Seahawks offside, so he's going to walk off. And Mevis is going to come out for a second kick of the game. McVay, a little upset. Tried to pull that off. Now instead of going for 6, they're going to settle for 3. Mevis made his first one for 23 from the left hash. This time it's going to be from the right hash. The first-year kicker from Missouri. This time it's 28 yards. Should be an easy one. It is. LA is cut it to within 1. They're scoring points the hard way. Defensive slugfest between these two teams. Stafford wanting to get more out of that drive. Did they get the result he wanted? We'll be right back in a moment. can help those affected by the floods in Washington State. To help donate, you can visit redcross.org/NFL to help out. And our hearts go out to all the victims of the flooding over at Washington State. So it's raining a little harder now. There's destructive winds slamming multiple states. The kick going to enter the end zone turned deadly in Idaho and left hundreds of thousands without power. The atmospheric rivers will spread a flood threat to Oregon and California after soaking Washington State. It's profound but unclear, says Governor Jay Inslee. The 4 interceptions from Sam Darnold tied a career high in Week 11. Made him see ghosts. The Rams wanted to see ghosts again. The rain started to pick up. Rams are showing blitz, and somebody moved early. A shot, I think, is from the Seahawks side. False start against Anthony Bradford, the right guard. And Sam Darnold, who the Seahawks got on a 1-year deal, to prove a deal after a forgettable final 2 games with the Minnesota Vikings, in which he was seeing ghosts throughout. Not only against the Detroit Lions, but also the Los Angeles Rams. So now the Seahawks have to go 70 yards, 1st and 15, with Jackson Smith-Njigba motioning towards the left. Darnold to throw it, being hurried up, and he's going to get jawed down right at the line of scrimmage. He got probably half a yard out of it. Puna Ford did not want to escape, neither did Jared Verse. We'll see an official down distance. Basically goes for no gain. This season for Darnold, he's completed a career-high 67% of his passes. 22 touchdowns thrown, 11 interceptions. 4 of them came against the Rams. It's a passer rating of 102. They officially make it as a gain of 1. Effectively, basically is a tackle for no gain for the Rams. Jalen Sundell is the center, and here's Darnold throwing it again. Moving up again. Darnold wrapped up this time. Nate Landman was the spy and followed him throughout and drew him back too. This Rams defense has been terrific all year long, and they live up to this standard. Chris Shula needed something to get a stop on the Seahawks. He saw they were rolling early, and that time with Landman's instincts, they kicked in and he stuffed them behind it. Acted as a spy. They instead mark it as the loss of 1, 3rd and 15, this time around, empty set. From the gun, quick throw to Walker. Walker has blockers. He's not going to get towards the first down. Forced out of bounds by Cameron Kinchins. And it's a free and out for Seattle. Michael Dixon coming out again now. So Kinchins put the Rams behind the sticks. That false start penalty did not help. And Shula hyped up with that effort. Anthony Bradford has to be shaking his head. Sometimes you may have to throw the ball away if you have to. Punt it away if you have to. You cannot risk giving it up the other way. So it's 4th and 8 with this punt from Dixon. Gets it off. Back deep is Xavier Smith at the 7-yard line. He's going to return it towards the right, past the 10. Smith, starter steps, past the 20, gets a block, and he's past the 30. Brought down at the 35. An excellent return. 30 yards for Xavier Smith. Matthew Stafford wanting to get more of his MVP case up. We'll return to you with 10:24 left in the second. After this week, the Rams have the Falcons and Cardinals to wrap up their schedule, and the Seahawks have the Panthers next week. This week, the 49ers are going to travel to Indianapolis, then they will go back home to face the Bears in week 17. Seattle and San Francisco play each other in week 18, and a matchup that can decide playoff positioning. I'll be on standby for the potential game 256. For the middle, this is Blake Corum getting an extra push and still rolling. 9 yards on an angry run despite all the efforts from Seattle to get things up. LA's playoff chances and the number 1 seed chance improve to 89% with a win. With a loss, they go down to 23%. Seattle's chances go up to 52%. With a loss, 2%, which is the same possibility as with the 49ers. For the 49ers, if a win is 17%, their number 1 seed chances. First down, easiest day. And then some more. That appeared to be Corum again. He picks up the first down as he looks to get out that pile. Matthew Stafford, 142 passing yards already. Kyron Williams, no rush, 10 rushes, 35 yards for Williams. Puka Nacua has not caught a pass just yet in this drive, but he has 4 for 74 yards. Seattle's task is to take him away so that they force Stafford to throw his other options. Here's another run here for Corum. He's being used here a lot already, and he gets another 4 yards. 13 personnel for the Rams has worked out as of late. They bring out 2 extra tight ends. They use mostly for short yard situations. On another play, they use Davis Allen and Colby Parkinson out wide so as to scheme them open in space. Matthew Stafford getting the open connections and the tight ends getting involved in blocking lanes to set things up. The Rams have 31 plays with 206 yards at their down to point. Play fake. Stafford. Dump off. Williams. Shakes off of Witherspoon. No. 2 yards shy at the first down, so it's 3rd and 2. It's 4 yards where he is limited to. Devon Witherspoon hung on to him, did not let him go. So Witherspoon CB1 on the Seahawks and has played a key role into turning this defense around. The 3rd down conversion rate allowed through week 16 is 33%, second lowest in the NFL to the Broncos 32%. 3rd and 2, Seattle showing blitz here. Boyan Maffei is out there. Terrence Ferguson motions towards the right. He is positioned to the left. Williams the keeper. Here's a first down. That's the 6th time the Seahawks have given up a first down conversion on 3rd down, which is one of the worst outings they've had this season. The Rams are figuring them out. The double team set up between Steve Avila and Coleman Shelton right up the middle to get Williams right up. Not the best defensive line that they have faced thus far, but they are one of the best between Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy II, Jaron Reed. Don't forget about the edge rushers, DeMarcus Lawrence and Uchenna Nwosu. Here's an audible from Matthew Stafford. On single back, this is Williams. Keeping it on the ground. The cutback, 9 yards. They're keeping it with Corum, not Williams, with these runs. He gets 9 yards this time. And it is a 2nd down situation, 2nd and short. But the Rams are getting ahead the sticks. This offense is finding ways to move the ball down the field with ease. And a nice hole set up by Terrence Ferguson, the rookie out of Oregon, on the left. 8 rushes for 34 yards is Corum, 2nd and half a yard, with Nick Eamon-Wari lined up as an edge rusher. Keeping it with Corum. Easy first down. Eamon-Wari wrapped him up, saved more damage. 6:20 to go in the 2nd quarter, and Blake Corum has been dealing it so far in the 2nd quarter. 6:10 to go in the second, and is always set up with the excellent punt return of 30 yards by Xavier Smith. Les Snead, the Rams GM, is upstairs at the press box watching as the Rams change formation from single back to shotgun, 2 left and 2 right. Stafford on the deep drop back, throws a dart up the middle for Williams, trying to stiff arm Ian Genge, who was having none of it. They get to the red zone with a 6 or 5 yard catch. It depends on the spot. Either way, it's second down. But this Seattle team had trouble going up against a Phillip Rivers-led Colts team. They had to kick 6 field goals to beat the Colts. And they were favored by 13.5 points. They'll give 6 yards to Williams. And it's 2nd and 4 from the Seattle 19. Stafford surveys for the middle. Caught, first down, past the 10. Down at the 8. Once again, finding open space. Kanata Mupfield, the rookie out of Pitt. Finding an opening, his second catch of this game. And the Rams wanting to get their katanas out and deliver a dagger right on them in the second quarter. Not exactly a penetrable slice, but just enough to give them a little ouchie. And no Davante Adams, his leadership ever so valuable. But the Rams are in rhythm. Play clock down to 3. First and goal from the 8. Keeping it on the ground with Williams this time. 5 yards on the run up the middle. Ernest Jones, the former Ram, with the tackle. After that run as Williams made his way up towards the middle. Jones, who won a Super Bowl with the Rams as their starting inside linebacker next to Troy Reeder, who is a special teamer at this point. The inside linebackers for the Rams now are Nate Landman and Omar Speights. Less than 4 minutes ago, the Rams methodically dinky and dunking. They have Davis Allen as a fullback, Puka Nacua in motion now. This is a play fake. Stafford towards the left. Wide open. Touchdown. Terrence Ferguson. Fool him once, shame on you. But you're not going to fool him twice. Nick Emmanwori was caught off guard that time around. The runaway favorite for Defensive Rookie of the Year, with Ferguson on the scheme of block and release. It's the block and release flat route scheme for Ferguson towards the left. And once he got open, shedding off of Boye Mafe, Stafford knew who to find. And he makes up for that. They're going to kick the extra point here with Mevis to go up by 6 instead of going for 2. The kick is right through the uprights. And the Rams now take the lead 13-7. Terrence Ferguson, how do you do? It was Uchenna Nwosu who was on the rush, not Mafe. But either way, the scheme worked out. We will return in a moment. Kobe Turner knows how to play piano. The defensive lineman for the Rams is also a pianist. And meanwhile, elsewhere, Ernie Clement is at KeyBank Center rooting for his hometown Buffalo Sabres. He is from Rochester. He was part of that Toronto Blue Jays team that made the World Series this year, pushing the Los Angeles Dodgers to 7 games. And Turner, a consistently solid defensive lineman, 9 sacks in his rookie year in 2023, 8 last year, 5.5 this year so far. A consistent contributor. And he, Byron Young, and Jared Verse have all done an excellent job leading this Rams defense. I mean, one of the best in the NFL. Don't forget about the new addition, Emmanuel Forbes, who has revived his career with the Rams with 16 pass breakups thus far. One of them tonight. Charbonnet, the running back, gets stuffed a yard past the line of scrimmage. Deshaun Johnson gives him a shove afterwards, but no pushing and shoving after the matter of fact. Chris Shula is a rising star among the coaching ranks with the Rams. Was an assistant linebackers coach in his first years under Sean McVay's staff. Then outside linebackers are the next 2. Head linebackers coach in 2021 when they won the Super Bowl. And he's done an amazing job running this defense. 2nd and 8 as they have rolled it 2 yards and not 1. At the shotgun, here's Darnold to pass. Sam Darnold under duress, he goes down! The pianist! And there is the conductor, Kobe Turner! With 6.5 sacks on the year. Gray Zabel, who set up the block for Kenneth Walker on his long run, he instead gets shedded off by Turner. And he is so good at powering up through the middle and bulldozing his way through. The second sack tonight by LA. 3rd and 16 with the Seahawks desperately needing something from this offense as they've been stuffed ever since. Walker to the right of Darnold and shotgun. They run it on a draw play. He shakes off one tackle, still going! He got the first down! How about Kenneth Walker? We reached the 2-minute warning. Well, it went from boos to cheers as Walker made that happen. We're at the 2-minute warning as Walker shed tackles from Byron Young and Cam Curl for that 17-yard run. Back in a moment. minutes to go in the first half. And the Seahawks, they did get a huge first down run from Kenneth Walker III. They stay with him with a run towards the right. Walker trying to reach out. It's across midfield, a yard past it. You remember that before the call-ups from the practice squad today, the Seahawks had two running backs, Walker and Charbonnet. The third running back is Cam Akers, who they elevated from the practice squad alongside Amari Kite, rookie right tackle. Week 11, JSN had 9 catches for 105 yards. He does not have a catch tonight right now. For the middle, this is Walker. He is close to picking up a first down. They will have to check the spot. And Kite getting called up as the Seahawks rolled Bryce Cabeldew and Mason Richmond inactives. Both of them healthy scratches. And Charles Cross, the left tackle, is an inactive. And here's a first down on a keeper from Darnold, a QB sneak. Right up the middle. Trying to draw them off. Timeout called here. And JSN, he's getting locked down. As JSN drew the matchup one-on-one with Forbes. So far, Forbes is winning that battle. The Rams are mixing and matching all sorts of options against him. One time there, he went trap coverage with Byron Young on him. So he has averaged 110.1 receiving yards per game entering tonight, which is the highest in the NFL. But he does not have a catch thus far. And in Cross's absence, the Seahawks are starting Josh Jones opposite him. That's the only notable. So Cross is the only notable absence, inactive due to injury for the Seahawks. We all know Davante Adams is out, but that hamstring injury. Shotgun with Darnold handing it off for Charbonnet. They crowd him just past the line of scrimmage, going absolutely nowhere. Spates and Landman both there. Another timeout taken. And that's going to be Seattle calling their second timeout, I would believe. No, it's the Rams calling timeout. They want to preserve as much time as possible for a possible field goal. 58 seconds left. And with that much time left, you're probably not going to call timeout. Darnold has only thrown 5 times, 55 yards. The Rams are daring the Seahawks to beat them on the run. So far, that's not happening yet. 58 seconds left. Oh, something happened. Well, they wanted to check to make sure that the play clock is correct, so they have corrected it, and now they come out the huddle. On the shotgun, to the right is Charbonnet, and here's Darnold. JSN's open for a moment, not anymore. There's a flag down, a lot of room to run. He is forced out towards the Rams sideline at the far side by Cameron Kinchins. 51 seconds left, and we'll check the penalty. And we may be looking at Josh Wallace. We'll see what the call is from Brad Allen. That is a defensive penalty. Wallace was the one who was caught with the defensive hold on Rashid Shaheed, acquired at the deadline this year from the New Orleans Saints. So that's where the hold came in. And that gives the Seahawks a free first down. You do not want to give the Seahawks life if you're the Rams. 13-7 is the lead for the Rams. They have taken off on offense and never looked back. AJ Barner in motion towards the left and then comes back towards the right to the left of Jones. And on the shotgun, Charbonnet towards the right. Play fake. Darnold to the middle. He finds Kupp, the ex-Ram. He lost it! Who's going to pick it up? Kobe Durant has it for LA! On the first catch of the night from Cooper Kupp. It ends up being a lost ball. The Rams scoop it up. Durant with the recovery. Finders keepers. He creates a space up the middle on the slant. And off the hit from Cam Curl as it was punched out by Josh Wallace, who made up for the penalty off the tackle from Curl. Wallace was also there, but it was Curl who punched it out. On the race for the football, Durant was the first one as he scoops it up at the 1 yard line. Punched out, and it continues to roll down. They're going to spot the ball, I think, at the 1 yard line. So this is danger territory for the Rams. They cannot kneel the ball down. They have to run it. That's the 12th fumble that they've lost this season, which is the most in the NFL. And that's a danger point for Seattle, and a sign of concern for them if they want to be taken as serious. 12 lost fumbles on the year. So they're going to set it at the 1. That's a danger zone. It's inside the 1 where Durant recovered it. He recovered it. So when he gets control of the ball. So it appears that he doesn't get control of the ball until he reaches the end zone. So by that ruling, it would be a touchback and not positioned at the 1 yard line. Seattle fans are going to think that this is going to be a safety if he rolls himself into the end zone. LA may want another look at it, if anything. Either way, it's 1st and 10 for LA. So it's a touchback. They start from the 20. And a timeout now called by Seattle. So what if Seattle takes this timeout to call a challenge? Well, I don't know about that, but we need to look at this play again. So Durant's momentum takes him to the end zone. That's where his momentum takes him to the end zone. That's when he had firm control of the ball. So it is a touchback there. And do remember, the winner of this game controls the path to the NFC number 1 seed. Seattle clinches the playoff berth with a win. Right now, Seattle is the 5 seed because they are not a division leader. So we'll go over playoff scenarios at a break. Stafford to throw it. He's looking long. He heaves it, and wow! But it's incomplete. What an effort by Kanata Mupfield to jump up for it, but was broken up at the last moment. No matter who was lined up against him, what an effort by Mupfield to try to get that one. Josh Joe poked it out at the last moment, said, "No, sir." To be able to knock that away. 2nd down now. The Rams have outgained the Seahawks 252 to 100 in total yards, and they'll get 6 more of it of a run on the left side. Stafford was a little auspicious handing it off to Williams. 31 seconds and a timeout called. So among the scenarios, the Seahawks will clinch a playoff spot with either a win or Lions loss. And also a Lions loss paired with a Bears win will clinch a spot for the Bears in the playoffs. A Lions loss paired with a Packers win sends the Packers to the playoffs. They've been bullish the Rams have been bullish with physicality throughout the season. Chris Shula leading the charge. On 3rd and 5, this is Williams. Stuffed by Williams. It's 4th down. Leonard Williams drove him backwards. And Seattle will hit the ball to start the second half. The Rams are running off to their locker room because the Seahawks are out of timeouts. They are unable to stop the clock for a punt. So everyone's going to run off into the locker rooms. After 30 minutes, the Rams lead it 13 7. Onto the raid, no problems for LA. I'm Alec Nava. I'll see you for the halftime report in a moment. At halftime, it's 13-7 Rams. The Seahawks will receive the second half kickoff. I am Alec Nava. Matthew Stafford wanting to add to his MVP case. He is 12 of 18 for 167 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown pass to the rookie out of Oregon, Terrence Ferguson. Puka Nacua, 4 catches, 74 yards. In the wake of the controversy that he surrounded. Kyron Williams with 14 carries, 49 yards. Blake Corum, 9 carries, 37 yards. This rushing attack standing their ground, whether it be between Williams or Corum. Kanata Mumpfield stepping up in the absence of Davante Adams. And Mumpfield has proven himself of his quality service. 2 catches, 30 yards for the rookie out of Pitt. Davis Allen, Jordan Whittington, and Williams also got into the passing attack. Kobe Durant recovers the 12th lost fumble of the Seahawks season. Sam Darnold is 4 of 6 for 72 yards. Only 6 throws. The one catch by Kenneth Walker, he turned a screen into a short situation to 46 yards thanks to Gray Zabel. Walker has accounted for 35 of the Seahawks' 57 rushing yards on 5 carries. Zach Charbonnet is the lone touchdown for Seattle, 4 carries, 15 yards. So we go to the total yards, 257 to 120 in favor of LA. Yards per play, 6.1 for the Rams, 6.0 for the Seahawks. The Rams are getting more opportunities as they have had the ball more often. The Rams are 2 of 8 on third down. I apologize for my earlier remark as the Seahawks have stuffed the Rams 6 times on third down. The Seahawks themselves are 2 of 4 on third down, but the Rams are 2 of 3 on fourth down. It's been a penalty-free game for the most part. The Rams have committed just 3 penalties for 14 yards. The Seahawks 1 penalty for 5 yards. And that lone penalty being the defensive hold. And around the NFL, DaRon Bland may need surgery again for the second time in as many years. Sources told Todd Archer of ESPN, Cowboys beat reporter from ESPN. Bland is seeking a second opinion, and no surgery has been scheduled yet. And even if he does not require surgery, he's likely going to end up on the IR with 3 games to play. So his season could likely be over. He missed 10 games last year after undergoing surgery on his 5th metatarsal on August 2024. And during training camp, he signed a 4-year extension worth $92 million. That included a $22 million signing bonus. He missed 2 games earlier this season with a bruise to his right foot. In 12 games, he has been credited 46 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 3 QB pressures, 6 pass breakups, and a pick. It's not been long ago when he set the NFL record with 5 pick sixes for touchdown, and 5 pick sixes with a league best 9 picks. If it's an impending absence, the Cowboys are looking to activate Trayvon Diggs off the IR. His practice window is set to close on Saturday. He has not played since October 12th after suffering a concussion in an at-home accident. And he's been looking better through the weeks. And in terms of the Jakobi Meyers extension, 3 years, $60 million. And the deal includes $40 million guaranteed. The Jaguars sent 4th and 6th round picks to the Raiders for Myers, with 27 catches for 355 yards and 3 touchdowns in 6 games with the Jags. He was scheduled to become a free agent after this season. He's been a huge boost for the Jags offense and Trevor Lawrence. And ever since his arrival, they are 5-1, averaging 31.8 points per game, second in the NFL to only the LA Rams. Lawrence has thrown 14 touchdown passes and only 5 picks, 3 of which came in 1 game. The Jags averaged 20.4 points, 24 in the NFL, and Lawrence had 9 touchdown passes and 6 interceptions in 8 games before this trade. He was added in part because of injuries. Travis Hunter was lost for the year. Brian Thomas Jr. was dealing with shoulder and ankle injuries, and De'Ami Brown was dealing with a shoulder injury at the time of the trade, but also because of his reliability. At the time of the trade, the Jags led the NFL in drops, with 19, including 5 by Thomas. Myers has only 11 drops in his 7-year career at that time. The day after, James Gladstone, the GM of the Jags, called Myers' sure-handedness his superpower. Myers turned 29 in early November. He has just 1 drop this season, never had more than 2 in any season. He's been amazingly reliable. So now, as we see the most coveted head coaching jobs that could open up this offseason, and we don't often see a team give up on its season, which is why Cincinnati did in the 4th quarter against the Ravens. The Bengals are in a terrible spot. Though they don't know where they should move on from Zach Taylor or they should run it back. Preferably, they should move on from him and General Manager Duke Tobin. So this could be a spot that could be coveted. Firing Taylor, hiring a defensive guru would be the biggest step the Bengals could take to win while they have Burrow at his peak. If there will be offensive coaches desperate to work with him, this should be even more appealing for defensive minds like Jesse Minter of the Los Angeles Chargers and Jeff Halfway of the Green Bay Packers. Turn the defense into even a league average unit, since he will be a perennial playoff team. Mold it into a top 10 defense, they're competing for Super Bowls. So this could be a coveted head coaching spot. Arizona could be. But Cleveland, if the Browns move on from Kevin Stefanski after 6 years. So the new coach will face a franchise still in transition. There's 1 year left on the disaster of the Deshaun Watson contract. But the Browns hinted earlier this month that Watson will be on the roster. There's no reason for Cleveland to keep him around. They're not bringing him back for the year after. So a new coach will likely help determine whether the Browns use one or both of their first round picks to help to upland a new QB unless if Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel pan out. But this discussion is for another day. When we come back, we'll return for the halftime report and head over to the second half. I'm Alec Nava. Stay tuned, everyone. You would imagine that the Space Needle would light up Seahawks colors. You could see that being the case if they make the when they make the playoffs. Time possession tells a tale of two teams tonight. 21-13 for the Rams, 8-47 for the Seahawks. It's been a very telling tale on time possession for how lopsided the total yards are, and it makes complete sense. Tonight's winner controls the path to the NFC's number 1 seed. Seattle clinches with a victory tonight. If they cannot clinch tonight, they would have to get in with a Lions loss. Matthew Stafford waiting on the sidelines for his turn. Sam Darnold will get first reps. Once the Seahawks get the ball on this kickoff with Ethan Evans position at the 30, now the 35 on this kickoff, and here we go. Back deep is Shaheed. He's not thinking about returning it. He takes a knee. So now, we get to see Darnold and company starting things up from their 35. And they do have somebody activated off the injury reserve. That is Derek Young, fourth-year man out of Lenore Ryan and a Raleigh, North Carolina native. It's the 5th straight game in which the Rams have totaled 200-plus total yards in the first half this season, which is tied for the longest streak in the NFL this year. The Rams being one of the best offenses in the NFL under Sean McVay. The McVay effect in full swing as he is one of the brightest coaches in the NFL. Motioning to the right is JSN. Now up the middle, and then shifting left is Charbonnet, who shakes off Verse. Gets 1, maybe 2, it depends. Could be 3. But we need to know who the difference makers are going to be coming out this half. But what an effort on defense by Tyler Davis, number 90 in blue. Davis, the second-year man out of Clemson. In this defense a year ago, as pulling up 4 Bulldogs over Jalen Sundell, Davis was the one tracking down Charbonnet. Shotgun for the Seahawks. Play fake. Darnold gets it off in a hurry. Dumps off for Charbonnet, trying to get the first down. And he gets some help from Sundell, but he is about a half yard short. Denying him the first down was Kobe Turner. And here's Quint Kubiak, the offensive coordinator. The last 3 drives, Seattle has had 15 plays for 59 yards, just 3 first downs after having 61 yards on 5 plays in the first drive of the game. This is tush-push formation for the Seahawks. 3rd and inches. The Rams crowding the line to prevent this. And there's the first down. Sam Darnold was not under center. More teams are doing this tush-push formation more and more. They are going to move the chains as signaled by the officials. That is A.J. Barner, who was under center, number 88 in gray. Named the starting tight end because Elijah Arroyo, the rookie, is on IR with a knee injury, placed on IR 5 days ago. Single back is Walker. Barner motions left. It's an inside give to Walker. Finds a hole wide open. Off to the races. Kiss him goodbye. Once again on the first drive of a half, the Seahawks find pay dirt. They're an extra point away from taking a lead, and it was an open hole that set this off. Kenneth Walker with the big gain is Sundell and Bradford paving this open hole. Abe Lucas, the right tackle, as well. Then it became a foot race in which only Walker could win. Then the speed of Walker showed here on full display, with Durant and Curl caught in the dust, and the kick just barely squeezed through. Jason Myers breathes a sigh of relief. Kenneth Walker, out of Michigan State, bouncing all over his playing field. We'll return in a moment. Arcades, a staple of gaming As we now go back to Seattle with the Seahawks back in the lead, up 14-13 in this grudge match between bitter rivals in the NFC West. Same coast. 160 total yards between Walker and Charbonnet, the running backs, as this will be returned from the 8-yard line by Ronnie Rivers, and Rivers gets stopped at the 27 by Derek Young. Welcome back. So now we get to see the Rams going. Sean McVay involving Blake Corum and Kyron Williams on the ground attack, and they've both been methodical. It's been chunk gains, and the holes created by the offensive line have been significant, in which the Rams have created right and through. Still, Justin Dedich is in at right guard. No sign of Kevin Dotson yet. He is still questionable to return with that ankle injury. Kyron Williams is single back. He gets the first touch, and immediately the Seahawks get to him. 2nd and 9 as Jones and Nwosu, who were on opposite ends of Los Angeles in their previous destinations, combine for the stop. Leonard Williams also there, the former New York Jet. Williams pressed McClendon away from his body at first and is able to key in on Kyron Williams, to shut off the hole. Here are the 12s in full force. Stafford's going to throw now. Dumping it off for Allen. Shallow for him. Dropped it right off his fingertips. It's 3rd and 9. Allen has had a hard time catching balls today. And we know about tight ends for the Rams on 13 personnel with Davante Adams absent. The Seahawks need to find ways to counter 13 personnel. Could they have turned a corner? We don't know just yet. 3rd and 9. Clock stopped with 12:07 left. 2 left, 2 right. And motion left is Williams. It's an empty set. Stafford with Nwosu coming in. Rolls left. Fires down the field. For the middle. Wide open is Smith. Inside the 25. Xavier Smith with the speed and the hole. 48 yards into Seattle territory for Smith. Designated as the punt returner, and he can use that speed to his advantage. He had an explosive play when returning a kick and a punt, and now he has an explosive play here on the long ball. Devon Witherspoon came in to stop a touchdown at the last moment, and the Rams are in the Seattle 24. Stafford with 215 passing yards on the night. And there's something before the snap, timeout taken by the Rams, as there were zeros on the clock. But what a catch by the second-year man out of Florida A&M. As Stafford seeing the downfield vision, the old school style in which you can be a gunslinger. Gunslingers can take risks. And Stafford was more than willing to take a risk down the field, finding Smith. The long ball on the 9 route, the go route. Stafford has had 33 completions to receivers, 20-plus yards downfield. That's the most in the NFL. And he would want to keep this going on. Allen is in at fullback, right in front of Kyron Williams. Here's Williams with the rock. Williams plows ahead past the 20 for 5 yards pending the penalty. A flag is out. We'd assume this could be coming back. Alaric Jackson, the left tackle. He was wearing a Guardian cap. It's one of the worst times to commit a holding penalty because you're right at the red zone on the edge of it. You grab onto Drake Thomas, and that grab is what opened up that hole. And Thomas has been an impressive linebacker for the Seahawks. throughout this season, their leading tackler. 1st and 20 now. Flea flicker. Here is Stafford, who's going back to Colby Parkinson. Parkinson with blockers on the right side. Parkinson past the 20. He gets the penalty yardage back and more. Takes it to the 18 for 16 yards. So originally it was Williams with a 5-yard run to the 19. So you get the penalty yardage back, and then you're near the spot in which Williams was at before that penalty. Colby Parkinson has had an impressive year as the de facto tight end number 1 in the wake of the injury to Tyler Higbee. 2nd and 4. It's another play fake as Stafford fakes to Nakua, looks for a second option. He's going to take it himself, runs it out a yard or 2. Past the line of scrimmage, not really a runner. He's a situational runner when he needs to be, but he doesn't run all that much. 3rd and 3 coming up. And ideally, you want to have Stafford throwing to his trusty receivers and tight ends. So he's a pocket passer. That is a run of 1 yard. LA with 323 total yards on 23-58 time possession and counting. Yet they're down by 1. That's where it mostly matters. Here's a run by Rivers. Or rather, Williams, he broke a tackle. And he lost a yard. The Seahawks stuff him. Lose 1. And now they're going to kick a field goal of Harrison Mevis. Matthew Stafford comes off the field. And not many talk about Coleman Shelton. That could have been a false start by Shelton. But it didn't matter anyway, as Murphy shed off the block at first up through the middle. Mevis, who kicked this field goal from 36 yards out on the right hash. It would be his first field goal of the game, if each subsequent field goal game further than the last. That's a poor one. It's partially deflected, and it still goes through. A flag is out, however. Well, that false start wiped it off. So Mevis, Ethan Evans, a good job for the moment. Spot that, so the ball just barely makes it through, and Boye Maffei got up trying to block it. He was able to, good job by Evans to secure it. Maffei jumped over. So now it's going to be a 41-yard attempt instead of 36. And Mevis has had no trouble kicking it from 40 plus this season. And he's more comfortable this time. And the Rams take the lead again. Back and forth we go here in Seattle. The 16-14 is the lead for LA. We'll return in a moment with Seattle getting the ball back. among other clinching scenarios, when we discussed the Lions' losses, should the Bears win or the Packers win, a Lions loss would send either of these two teams to the playoffs. A Lions loss sends both the Seahawks and the 49ers to the playoffs, though San Francisco can also get in with a win. For the AFC side, we're still sticking to the NFC side, the Eagles get in the playoffs with a win, as this kick will go beyond the end zone. They can also clinch with a Cowboys loss. The Broncos clinch the AFC West with a win and a Chargers loss. If they want to add a first round bye to that, a Patriots loss and a Bills loss need to be added in addition to the Broncos win and the Chargers loss. The Patriots can clinch a playoff berth either by winning, the Colts losing, or the Texans losing. Jackson Smith-Njigba has accounted for 45% of the Seahawks receiving yards, by far and away leading any team among the highest percentage of receiving yards by any one player. Darnold for the middle, batted away towards the direction of JSN. And so we look at Jackson Smith-Njigba's his ability to start his step, and even though you're not getting the ball at some moments, that doesn't mean you should be discouraged. This game also has the two top receivers in the NFL by receiving yards. JSN and Nakua are separated by 104 yards. 2nd and 10 at the Seattle 35. And some flags fly in. The Rams pointing towards the Seahawks offensive line. This could be a false start. This time it is the rookie left guard, Gray Zabel. The rookie out of North Dakota State. He's from the capital of South Dakota, Pierre. It's been a very shaky game for Zabel. He set up a long run by Kenneth Walker on the screen pass towards the left, giving him a blocking lane. JSN still need to have a catch here. Trailed by Josh Wallace. Darnold throwing. Young on the inside. Caught by JSN. First catch of the game. Goes for 20 yards. And the first. The rising star making his presence felt coming out of wide receiver U, the Ohio State University. Darnold tried to follow him out the backfield, and he does so right there and then. On trips, Charbonnet to the right, flipped over by Wallace. Read the screen to perfection and blew up the play from the start. Loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11 as the Seahawks are back in their own territory now. One thing about that secondary from the Rams is that there aren't a lot of first-round picks, but there are a lot of guys that can get the job done. That included Josh Wallace, a slot corner. It's a loss of a half yard, technically. Single back is Charbonnet. With Barner motioning towards the left. Charbonnet can't find a hole at first. He does so now, but that gets shut off quickly with Puna Ford and Tyler Davis shutting it off. Gain of 2, third and 8. Be a gain of 2.5. Rashid Shaheed swats in here on this passing down situation for Seattle. Robbie Aus was used as a fullback at some points before or in this game. The 6'3", 274 fullback out of Alabama. On shotgun, motioning left, it is Cooper Kupp. 1-0 Wallace up against his former team, now playing for his hometown team. Darnold looking towards the left. Intercepted! Josh Wallace on the run back. Gets a block, and he's through! Ollie Walker to beat! Did he reach in for the touchdown? We have yet to see. He might be stopped at the 1! Right on cue, Josh Wallace, who blew up the screenplay on Charbonnet on first down. He intercepts this one with the 1-on-1 matchup drawn towards the far side. Comes off of his assignment, sees the pass his direction, And as he gets the block, catching up on towards the other side from the defensive lineman in front, Braden Fisk. As he blocks off Darnold, he sees that, and Walker saves a touchdown. But it might have delayed the inevitable. A great job by Wallace to get that second turnover by Seattle, this time on an interception. Blake Corum looking to capitalize this with a 1-yard run. Motion left is David Sallin, and Corum. Did he stick it in? Yes, touchdown. And that is what you call a silencer. Blake Corum with the assist from Josh Wallace. You can see the reach right onto the goal line as he was getting wrapped up by his legs by Boye Maffei or Ernest Jones. I can't get a good number on it, but either way, the Rams lead by 8. The extra point will get them up by 9. Jason Myers will kick this. Not Jason Myers, Harrison Mevis, the thicker kicker. He'll kick this extra point. And do keep in mind that all of this has come after that opening drive touchdown, capped up by Kenneth Walker on the long run. Snap, spot, kick. All good. And it's 23-14 LA. Blake Corum from 1 yard out. Josh Wallace nearly at a pick 6. Stopped at the 1 yard line by Kenneth Walker. Seattle will get another chance. We'll be right back. So for Buffalo to clinch a playoff spot, they'll have to win and have either one of the Colts or Texans to lose. The Jaguars' path is to win and have either one of the Texans or Colts to lose. Same case for the Chargers. Win and either one of the Texans or Colts to lose. The clinch. Rams 23, Seahawks 14. I'm Alec Nava. As this kick goes to the back of the end zone, it's a touchback. And the Seahawks will try this all over again. In the last 3 games against the Rams, he has just 1 passing touchdown, intercepted 6 times, sacked 11 times. Completion percentage of 64%, but this Rams team has had its number over the past few years. This is a team that he doesn't want to face, especially given circumstances of last season. Of course, the only losses by the Vikings last year coming at the hands of the Rams and Lions, as this catch goes for 10 yards as the Rams pile onto the receiver. A.J. Barner, the tight end on that play. So Barner, who is the starter, because Elijah Arroyo is hurt, he has to step up, and the Rams, they need to continue clamping down on JSN more. 6 minutes left in the third. It's going to be a single back set with Charbonnet as the running back. JSN all the way out left. Darnold dropping back. Has he throw it? And nearly picked by Landman. Ooh. The Rams were not letting him get any breathing room of any sort. And this continues on throughout, even after last season. It is a straight drop back, and the pressure comes from Omar Speights, the linebacker, through an open gap. Nobody accounted for him. Charbonnet could only pick up one or the other between Speights, I believe was the free blitzer up the middle. 2nd and 10, out the incompletion. Darnold from shotgun. A dart for the middle, finding JSN, 12 yards, first down. Towards the 44-yard line, and the Seahawks have their best receiver get his second catch of this game. He stacked up with Cooper Kupp. That was actually the fumble by Kupp was actually the first that he's had this season. 32 yards for JSN on this game. Darnold rolls right, escaping the pressure. Flag down, Lee heaves one up. It's over the head of Barner. Flag is behind the line of scrimmage towards the left tackle side. But it's not on Josh Jones, it's on Abe Lucas. The Seahawks will be pushed back 10 yards because of the hold that he has committed on Josiah Stewart, the third edge rusher. And that hold could have bought more time for Darnold to escape that rush. But nonetheless, it forced him to double clutch and forced him to be uncomfortable. That was the Rams' job, and Stewart got that job done. So it's 1st and 20, Rams 23, Seahawks 14. Alec Nava here on the play-by-play. Byron Young and Jared Verse are back out there. Shaheed is matched up with Forbes. Draw play for Walker. Through the middle. Just 1 yard. It worked the first time around. The Rams made sure it didn't work a second time around. And this crowd is quiet now. 2nd and 19, 5 minutes to go. Here in the third quarter. Oh, it's not saying Nick Van Nett. He is on the Rams. Excuse me. I meant to say Eric Salbert. Recently extended. So I apologize to Salbert if I confused you with Van Nett. Because Van Nett used to wear number 81 on the Seahawks. On 2nd and 19, Rams send 4 after Darnold. Rolling away from Verse. Just gets it off. He's in trouble. And so is Walker. He gets some blockers with him. Walker getting away. And he takes it to the 47, maybe the 46. Still, it's third and long. But he took a negative yards play. Ran all the way around the Rams defense and took it for 5 yards the hard way. A.J. Barner back out there. But not exactly set up the way they wanted to. Nick Van Nett is the 4th tight end for the Rams. So I apologize. It's 81 to Seahawks' Eric Salbert. JSN to the right as Darnold wanting to command the shots. Shaheed motions left to the slot. Following him is Wallace. And as Spowery made the interception. Darnold straight drop back. He's run over towards the left side on the comeback. Wide of Kupp. Not even close to him. And the crowd very irate. And not that they got behind the sticks is not what they wanted. Dixon going to punt again. And Darnold wanted this route to be a few yards shorter. Much, much shorter. Didn't get that as they were not on the same page. Darius Williams in coverage. Dixon punter. Chris Stoll long snapper. Punt is off. Back deep is Smith. As the return man, he's going to let this one bounce out. We're going to see where it bounced out. right near the 15-yard line. We'll see the exact spot how we come back. Matthew Stafford is in full roll here. Well, we'll see him returning from this break. With next-gen stats, the Seahawks defense have blitzed on 42.6% of dropbacks against the Rams. They have blitzed 21.6% against all other teams. But Stafford has found a way to beat the blitz, going 5 of 8 for 74 yards and a touchdown against the blitz. Simply put, you do not want to blitz him. Here's the run by Williams for the left side, and it's 6 yards. Shoestring by Thomas. And even without Davante Adams, the Rams have seen this movie before. And even so, the Rams say, hey, we may not have our wide receiver too, but we will find ways to burn you. Puka Nacua did not have a catch since the first quarter. But they don't need him to be producing at this insane rate at this point. Kyron Williams gets 2 of that run, third and 2 yards to go. 2:45 left as Puka still waiting for an opportunity to get a pass his way. They save 1 yard for Williams. Third and 3. Good to speed a moment for Nacua. Fans are getting out of their seats, looking to get the Seahawks all pumped up for a defensive stop. Shotgun set for the Rams, and motioning left is Terrence Ferguson. Seahawks send 4 after Stafford, crowding it, and a catch made by Smith at the 30, and the drive will continue. Throwing the X up Dez Bryant style. Eman Worry wants nothing to do with it, but that could get Dez's attention. He sat right between the pipes. And that's just a second catch, 57 yards for the speedster, the deep point threat of the Rams. Final 100 seconds of the third quarter. Single back set again for the Rams. This time it's a play fake to Williams. Stafford will go back to him. Thomas immediately brings him down after 4.5 yards. They try going back to Williams. Going to safe route. 2nd and 5. As Puka still held without a target. No targets for him since the first play of the second quarter. And he's speaking to Davante Adams. Getting a Gatorade from him. Switched his number from 17 to 12 out of deference to Davante, an accomplished receiver. One of the best of the game. 2nd and 6 still. Single back again for the Rams as motion left is Allen. This time they will go with, I think that's Corum, but it's 3rd and 4 or 3, depending on the spot. It's Williams rather than Corum. I didn't get a good look. The next play will be the last one of this 3rd quarter for the Rams, unless if there's a stop or an incomplete pass. If the Seahawks need to come back, they'll have to start by shutting down this drive of a big 3rd down stop. The Rams are 4 of 11 on 3rd down conversions, averaging 4.3 average yards to go. So, well, to our point about the Seahawks needing to shut down this offense, this is the time now. Seattle blitzes. Stafford has been very good tonight against it. And here's Puka. First target since the opening play of the 2nd quarter. And there he goes. Testing the end zone and brought down by Ian Worry just before he could cross it. At the 3, just before we can get back into action. And that is how we end the 3rd. Puka Nacua, his first target since the first play of the 2nd quarter, and he takes off in a big way to get across 100 receiving yards. The 4th quarter is next. LA once again threatening to strike, as they have done throughout this game. They have controlled the pace of play on the offensive side, and the time of possession and numbers have shown exactly that. Here's Kyron Williams, just 2 yards before getting plastered by Leonard Williams and Kobe Bryant. The one-on-one matchup between Bryant and Puka Nacua. And I know Bryant was a corner at college. He transitioned to safety, and that time Bryant lost that battle. Puka showing that he is shifty at running routes. Even Worry could bring him down at the last moment on the chase down to save a touchdown. a clear mismatch between the Rams and the Seahawks. 480 receiving yards in the last 3 games as Williams tries to plow his way through, getting a second effort, still going. No. Devon Witherspoon was there to shut the door at the 1. And even though the Rams are looking to make it back to the big game, each win is one step at a time. And in the red zone, the Rams have scored 2 touchdowns and 3 field goals. And speaking of Kobe Bryant, he is down. Oof. Hopefully this is not too serious. We already saw Kevin Dotson leave the game to an ankle injury earlier. So Mike McDonald is coming out to take a look on Bryant. So Jim Harbaugh's son, Jay Harbaugh, he's the special teams coordinator with the Seahawks. Jay. I know Jim is the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. Jim's brother John, currently the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. The Chargers tried to make a significant push to steal the AFC West from the Denver Broncos. See what the injury is. Bryant is being helped up. And it looks like he got tangled up. Ooh. It looks like it's his knee. We're still here. 3rd down and goal from the 1. It is a single back set. Williams once again the running back. This time Stafford throws. Touchdown Puka Nacua. He wanted the no look, and he got the throw that he wanted in the end zone, a 1-on-1 matchup. They say feed your superstars. He fed his superstar. From 1 yard out, Stafford goes to Puka. 1 yard out, and he brings it in for the score. 1 yard. This connection, side-eye, right there, and you cannot do it any better than how Stafford is doing right now. And the extra point is good. The lead is 30-14, LA. The range of Stafford's peripheral vision is one to behold. And of course, a no-look touchdown pass. Well, we know that he can do that for a long time. He's one of the first ones to do that. We'll be right back. The Rams have won 2 Super Bowls. The first one on the 1-yard short tackle by Mike Jones. Steve McNair threw to Kevin Dyson. Dyson tried to reach out to get to the end zone. Jones made sure he could not. The play the Titans drew up at that time actually worked. The one thing that didn't work was the part that Jones tackled him. And not had that in mind because you cannot anticipate such a that. And then the other one is the Super Bowl from several years ago. This one is essentially a long field goal try from Mevis, and he got it to Rashid Shaheed with Ethan Evans holding. But Mevis was the one holding, and Ethan Evans was kicking off. How common you see that? So the Rams, they're several years removed from that Super Bowl win. This is their 4th year removed from it, and where Stafford and Kupp were teammates. Kupp put up a sensational final drive for the Rams, and Stafford had one of his signature no-look passing moments. And did what he does best. Game-winning drives. Darnold on a deep drop back, looking to throw. Fires a dart to the left side for JSN. He's around the 40 in LA territory, wrapped up at the 38. By Darius Williams. The Seahawks must score 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. Smith-Njigba matched up with Darius Williams in his second stint with the team and cuts back onto the outside off after faking a move to the inside. 2 left to 2 right on shotgun. Rams rush 4. Darnold towards the left for Jason again. Shoves the defensive back out the way. That's Williams again. Second and very short. It's 2nd and 1. And Bryant is walking off on his own power, headed to the locker room for further evaluation. The Rams are going to change their defensive approach a bit. But now the Seahawks are inserting fullback Robbie Outs onto the play. Strong eye set from the pistol. Charbonnet, first down. And going to about the 22. Over 12 minutes to play, Seattle is not dead in this one. Sam Darnold, 12 of 18, wore 62 yards, and he has that near pick 6. Kenneth Walker, the third, with 7 rushes, 91 yards and a touchdown. He's back onto the field. He has 2 touchdowns for the Seahawks, the other being Charbonnet. Motioning left is A.J. Barner, and here's the toss to Walker. Gets some blockers with him, and he's wrapped up from behind. Makes it back to the line of scrimmage. There's Puna Ford, 95 in blue. And you're thinking that if you're the Seahawks, you're thinking quick score so as to get back on track. You're not thinking hurry up right now since you're in LA territory. But you need your others to step up. It can't be, your offense can't rely on just one guy. That being JSN. Kenneth Walker needs to get being more trusted here on this rushing game. Darnold to throw it. Through the middle. Caught. First down. And here's Walker, as we just mentioned. Big 9 on the ground for him. And he is keeping the Seahawks in this one. Off the angle route. And this is a Texas concept. Off that curl route, I believe, from A.J. Barner. And Walker gets by through Cam Curl. Omar Spates caught up with him off that angle route. Shotgun on first and goal over the 10. JSN motions towards the left. Shaheed in the slot. Kupp wide to the right. Darnold throws this way. JSN tried to shake off the tackle. Williams says no. Caught the 7-yard line, so it's a gain of 3. Keeps the clock rolling as forward progress was stopped. So Smith-Njigba drew the favorable matchup 1-on-1 of Williams. That's what Mike McDowell and the company wanted to get. This will be the 7th play of the drive. The clock is continuing to be Seattle's enemy. Do remember, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion Motion left to Salbert. Ball is at the 6-yard line. Darnold throwing again. Flushed out towards the right, chased by Davis, and he's going to throw it away. Threw it near the seats. But what a good pressure from Tyler Davis on that right side. It's third and goal. Clock stops. 9:48, fourth quarter. And this clock could be a bigger problem if the Seahawks are not careful. In the first half, Smith-Njigba did not have a catch. Here he has 5 catches for 72 yards in the second half. A lot of field goals from the Rams in the opening 3 quarters. As Cooper Kupp goes in motion, the Seahawks don't want to do anything except kick a field goal. Rams blitz. Darnold gets it off quickly, and he's picked off again. Kobe Turner, a thick pick, as he's brought down by both Bradford and Zabel. The Rams fool Darnold again on third down. First time around it was Josh Wallace. This time it's Kobe Turner. He did not see him coming as he was looking for JSN in the end zone. And Turner, who dropped back, did not rush him, gets the interception. And boy, is everybody happy here for LA. We'll be right back. Chris Shula faked out Sam Darnold again. They showed men, instead dropped into zone, with Kobe Turner faking the rush and then dropping back. An excellent job by Shula on scheming that up in the red zone. The first run by Corum is a 4-yard run. And at that time, there were 2 blue jerseys right in front of JSN, who was Darnold's intended target. Said it was Turner with the interception, right, in drop zone coverage. A turn of events here. All 3 turnovers for the Seahawks tonight came in Rams territory. A lost fumble and 2 interceptions. 2nd and 6 run by Corum. Corum gets stuffed. I think that was Tank Lawrence and Leonard Williams combining on him. And despite losing Kevin Dotson, Justin Dedich has been up for the task and thrived. That's just the 2nd pass defense by Turner on the year. He gets the interception on that last drive. Cooper Kupp, gotta imagine the emotions that he's going through, going up against his former team, the team they won a Super Bowl MVP with. And now he's playing for his hometown team. 3rd and 6. Dropping back is Jones in coverage. Stafford swings one towards the right. And that's broken up. Nakua actually broke up a possible interception by Josh Jobe. And so we'll see Ethan Evans punting. 8:18 to go in this fourth quarter. And Stafford, he is extending his MVP case at this point in time. 18 of 26, 303 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a passer rating of 134.0. The punt is up, and Rashid Shaheed steps up to return it. Gets a block for the left side. Shaheed splits the gap. Shaheed, room to run. Shaheed, a one-man to beat, and he's gone! Now you see him, now you don't. He is speed. Rashid Shaheed. Despite the interception by Kobe Turner, Rashid Shaheed gets the punt return touchdown. And Sam Darnold and company are going back out there to go for 2 because they need to. That'll get them to within 1 score. We're going to make sure that he stayed in bounds. Good. It's all good. He is in bounds. The Seahawks are going for 2 to pull within 1 score. Barner, Shaheed, and Kupp are lined up to the right. Jason lined up to the left. In shotgun next to Darnold is Charbonnet. Kupp in motion right. Darnold throws, caught for 2. Cooper Kupp. Serenaded with Coop from the Seattle crowd, and he makes a 1-possession game on his former team. LA will look to try again instead of going 3 and out this time around. And Rashid Shaheed with some blocks and a adequate hole has opened up. What a hole opened up on the left side. He's so instinctive as a returner. Plus the 2-point conversion towards the left for Shaheed to pick that one up, and all of a sudden, this is a game again. Cooper Kupp gets himself open. The smallest of space in these situations where he's normally reliable, and he is. He has a firm grip on that ball, beating out the possible breakup from Jalen McCullough. 8:03 left in the fourth quarter, and there is still time for the Seahawks to try and tie this game up. They need to get another stop, and they should not allow points on the Rams' next drive. Oh, this is bobbled again. Picked back up by Whittington. Whittington ran into at the 23, right after the bobble. And the Seahawks are back and alive into this game. Tyrese Knight and Patrick O'Connell both there on special teams. Do remember, the Rams have the Falcons on the road and the Cardinals at home to wrap up their schedule. Next week, the Seahawks will go to Charlotte to face the Panthers. I'll be covering the Panthers game against the Buccaneers on Sunday. Take a look for Nick Emanwari wide to the right. Stafford, PA rollout. Here's Polka, catch. Emanwari there for the immediate tackle, 3 yards past the line of scrimmage at the 25. Sean McVay trying to change the approach of his offense. He wants to stay ahead of the sticks. He wants to have one back with the 3 tight ends out there. 13 personnel on this formation. Ferguson, Allen, and Parkinson all out there for LA. Single back Williams back there. Another play fake. Stafford, hurry up. Got it off. Incomplete, short of Williams. DeMarcus Lawrence and Leonard Williams both there, combining for that pressure. This defense switching things up. Williams was able to work around Alara Jackson on the left side. And this place has come alive. Everyone on their feet. 3rd and 7. We're on 3rd down. The Rams were 6 of 14 with 4.1 average yards to go. 7:18 left as Ferguson motions left. And did they get the snap off? They said yes. I thought they didn't. Stafford runs away for the pressure. Still with it. Directs traffic. Throws it. Incomplete. And the Rams are furious. They think that there was a holding penalty. Or I thought that they think that there was a catch. We'll see if this is going to be challenged. They ruled incomplete. Now we have to see where the ball was at the time if Kanata Mupfield. Poking Nakua was all covered up. He was held. That looked like... And the ball hit the ground, so that is the right ruling. Incomplete. So Sean McVay is not going to challenge the play. The Rams thought that it was a catch, so the Rams go 3 and out again. Punt is off from Evans. The dangerous returnman, Shaheed, is back. He's not going to intend to return this. It bounces out at the 42, at the Rams sideline. And it's pretty good field position for the Seahawks. They trailed by 16 points earlier in this game. They have life once again now. And one score can change everything. 2 touchdown passes from Stafford with 306 yards to go with it. Puka Nacua, 7 catches, 136 yards. But momentum has slipped from them right now. The Seahawks in control now, right after that Shaheed punt return touchdown. And everything can flip in an instant. Seattle is 0-172 all time when trailing by at least 15 points in the 4th quarter. And they're trying to make that 1-172 of a win tonight. Here's an end around from Shaheed as he gets around the defense. Shaheed with some room, a 1st down, some blockers. Shaheed wrapped up by Curl. He is shy of the 20. A flag is thrown in the midst of the play. We had to check it out. Whoa, it's an offensive offside. Never mind, it's a defensive offside. Whoa. I thought it was an offensive offside. It was Byron Young who was lined up in the neutral zone. Offside was the penalty. He got his foot there. And at this point, if you're the Reds, you cannot, and I mean you cannot afford to shoot yourself in the foot at the worst possible time. The penalty is declined as Eric Salbert motions left. The backup tight end. Audible again. 3 left and 1 right. Play fake as Darnold leads the bootleg left. Darnold going for it all. Wide open. Touchdown. A.J. Barner. And this place has gone bonkers. Mike McDonald is going for 2, obviously, because that is the way to go. And Sam Darnold, who has thrown 6 interceptions in recent memory against the Rams, has thrown for a touchdown here. Rashid Shaheed gave him a chance, and that's the 2nd touchdown pass that Darnold has thrown against the Rams here in recent memory. First of this game is Shaheed, the man that revived the Seahawks back from the dead. Right in motion and went Barner. And now you have JSN one-on-one against Emmanuel Forbes. Best on best matchup. That's what you want to roll with. Double running back here. Oh, it popped up right off the hands of Charbonnet. What in the wide world was that 2-point play? I thought that went backwards. Jared Verse was there to break that up as A.J. Barter with a nifty route run towards the end zone. Steps up and goes towards the outside as he leaps up. Leaves everyone completely fooled. Nobody paid attention to him. He was left all alone in the end zone. What an effort to go up to snag it. Some of these tight ends used to play basketball back in their days. And our forwards, if the way this defense is went, it went from so good to so bad in a hurry. And Blitz is happy, the mascot of the Seahawks. Well, that would have counted as a lateral pass, but it took a bounce off of Jared Verse's helmet. Well, of all the places to break up that pass, that was a lateral pass that bounced off of Verse's helmet. What in the wide world? We see something new every day. And it was picked up by the Seahawks, but not advanced any further. You pick up the ball in the end zone. That was Cam Curl. For the moment, they are lined up to kick off. And we don't know what's going on here. So they're looking for it. So now we're looking at this via crazy service. They're seeing this as a possible. They're seeing this as a review. Brad Allen was checking the monitor here. This is a lateral pass from what it is. I don't think anybody in the crowd has any idea what's going on. This looks like a lateral pass that bounced off of Verse's helmet. So it looks backwards from one angle. One up front. The last shot shows Charbonnet picking it up. He was in the end zone at that time. Look at the overhead shot. One more time. It clearly goes backwards. Bounces off of Cam Curl. And picked up by Charbonnet. There was the recovery. So if this is a backwards pass, then this would be a tie game. Can you believe it? No official ruling has been made now. But that looks like a backwards pass. But can you believe it? A tie game of this magnitude. The call on the field is an incomplete pass. And now we're getting the call. Can you believe it? We have a tie game! That is unbelievably crazy! Of all the plays in which you could tie the game like that, a backwards pass off of Jared Verse's helmet, and it could not be recovered by Cam Curl, but it's Charbonnet who scoops it up nonchalantly. And then, what in the absolute wide world? That's how you draw it up. Obvious jokes here. And we are tied at 30 apiece. On the return is Ronnie Rivers. On the far side. Tackle at the 25. Oh my goodness. What? This game is all sorts of crazy. This game, and now this crowd, once it's been silent when they were down by 16, has erupted in full force. This has always been a loud crowd between this and Arrowhead Stadium. These are two of the loudest crowds in the NFL. Here's Corum, limited to a yard. Witherspoon signaling to stop. It's just 1 yard, 2nd and 9. After the second Darnold interception, the win probability for the Seahawks dropped to 3%. Their current win probability stands at 48%. But can you believe it? Either way, the Davante Adams-less Rams or the back from the dead Seahawks looking to punch their ticket to the playoffs. To win this crazy game, off the play fake, Stafford towards the right side, bobbled off of Parkinson's hands. And Stafford banged up, taking the hit. He is staying upright. They said that Williams got 2 yards out that first down run. And it's been a night to forget for tight ends. Davis Allen has been rocked with drops throughout. This time it's Parkinson had this pass go off his fingertips. The Rams missed out on their last third down try. They're 6 of 15 overall, 40% on the game itself. Quick throw, tipped, caught by Nakua, second shake, and stopped. 3 yards shy. Seattle's defense does the job. Stafford was wincing right after that hit on second down. And it's a second straight 3-and-out by the Rams. 4th and 3. And with Rashid Shaheed back deep, Sean McVay is trusting Chris Shoa's defense to get this job done, but they're getting more and more exhausted as time goes on. Punt is out for 4:52. Shaheed going towards the right. He gets a block. He instead calls for a fair catch at the 22. That's where the Seahawks will start this drive. 4:47 to work. All 3 timeouts and a 2-minute warning. We'll be back to you in a moment. Winner takes control of the number 1 seed. And if Seattle wins, they make their way into the playoffs. Who could have thought this? Sam Darnold gets it off quickly. Incomplete. He was looking for JSN with Emmanuel Forbes in coverage. Clock stops with 4:43. So as we still go on here, the Seattle Seahawks If they were to win, they would take control with the first seed right now. The Rams looking to have crisis averted. Shotgun set again after the Seahawks tied the game in the most bizarre way possible. 3 right and 1 left. Dump off for Walker setting the screen. Walker trying to get around. Extra yardage as he turns a catch for no gain into 3 yards. The Seahawks going conservatively this time. 4:25 to go as Walker subs out. Charbonnet comes in. A couple hits had adding up as Stafford banged up from Uchenna Nwosu, the ex-Charger. Landed down pretty hard onto the ground. Feeling his ribs. This Rams defense needs to tighten up. The backup quarterback is Jimmy Garoppolo. 3rd and 7, trips right. Screen to JSN with 2 blockers from Rashid Shaheed. He's going to get bulldozed out by Jalen McCullough to force a 3 and out. And the Rams, they are still alive in this one. Stafford is warming up, so he's going to toughen this out after that hit from Nwosu. 3:40 left. And getting Michael Dixon out to punt. Tied at 30 after the Rams were up 30-14. Xavier Smith is back deep as a returner. The punt is up. Smith motions towards his right to get this. Calls for the fair catch. Back at the 17-yard line. With the gunner, Nehemiah Pritchett, coming in. Right on his face. 3:19 to go. The Rams are 3-23-1. We're leading by at least 15 plus points in the 4th quarter. The Seahawks 0 for 172 when trailing by 15 plus points in the 4th quarter. We've seen some crazy games in this NFL season, including Micah Parsons' return to Dallas that ended a 40-40 tie between the Packers and Cowboys. And the epic comeback in the first game in the farewell season of the Ralph, in which the Buffalo Bills came back from down 17 points to win 41-40 against the Baltimore Ravens. Motion left is Colby Parkinson. Stafford passing. Looks right, now left. Dumps off for Allen. He gets it to the 21-yard line. Nick Emanwari was there. The Rams have 3:05, 2 timeouts, and a 2-minute warning to work with. Don't need to go hurry up right now. You can go with quick shots right now. Then you can start to think about the 2-minute drill. 2nd and 4 upcoming. And Stafford is in no hurry right now. The pressure, you can bring pressure to your Seattle's defense. Then keep on going for there. Stafford tapped at the line and batted down. DeMarcus Lawrence saw that coming all the way. Hand-eye coordination at its finest. It forces 3rd and 4. Stafford has not thrown an interception tonight. He's 21 of 33 for 317 yards and 2 touchdowns. Poking a cool of 8 catches, 141 yards, and a touchdown. Stafford on an empty set has 2 to his left, 3 to his right. Whole lot of pressure coming from the left. They fake it. Stafford throwing towards the left side, wide open. Terrence Ferguson, 1st down and then some. Quack, quack. A flag is down after the matter of fact. Took a hit from Ty Okada. It looks like this flag is on the Seahawks side of the field. Conference is going on right now. It looks like it's taunting. Maybe Ferguson? It could be a number of things. Could be smirk at somebody. Did they all initiate? Yep. So it's not taunting. It is unnecessary roughness for helmet-to-helmet contact. The guilty party being Okada. So he lowered the helmet to initiate the helmet-to-helmet contact. That's what caused that personal foul. So the safety Okada moved up and tried to cut off Ferguson. And Ferguson, who got right in front of Drake Thomas, beat him out in coverage. Matthew Stafford saw him all the way. The rookie tight end, Nakua, was picked up by Julian Love. You like here for the Rams. They can run this. They will. Kyron Williams to the outside. Gets the first down in the red zone. Flag is out, however. And this is probably coming back, so this will take the Rams out of field goal range. The penalty against Davis Allen for a hold. The most common penalty in football. Jordan Whittington was towards the left, blocking off Job, and Allen was the one holding Nick Eamon-Worry. It could not give him a clean look at getting a tackle for a loss. 6th penalty for the Rams in this game. LA is trying to wrap things up with a field goal, trying to get a first down before they can kick said field goal. Without Davante Adams, he'll be in good hands. Shotgun formation at the 41. Stafford looks short to Parkinson, wrapped up by Thomas at the 36. They can take this to the 2-minute warning if they want to. Timeout is called, however, as Harrison Mevis. And we have some more smack talking here. Eamon-Worry, Love, Nakua. That timeout called by the Seahawks is the rookie Eamon-Worry, who was at the center of it. Nakua subs out. Has still some words for Eamon-Worry. 2nd and 15. This is getting too much of a trash talking motion at this point. But these are NFC West rivals. They hate each other. So the trash talking only comes natural between natural rivals. As Polka subs out, where he gets back in with Kanata Mumpfield, Colby Parkinson, and Xavier Smith both out there. So it's the others that need to step up, and they did. Run play for Williams. Gets a gap up the middle. At the 29-yard line for 7 yards. It's 3rd and 9, so it's more manageable. Seattle calls their second timeout as Mevis warms up. Do remember, the 2-minute warning is there, so the Rams can take this to the 2-minute warning, and it can initiate a Seahawks game-time drive as long as the Rams don't pick up the first down. 3rd and 8. So Seattle is betting on the fact that they're going to stop the Rams here on 3rd down. To make a stop, LA is going with a shotgun look. Motion right is Ferguson. Seahawks jumble up the entire line of scrimmage, showing blitz. Part of me thinks they're going to fake it. They're going to bring all the heat. Stafford gets it off in a hurry. And nobody was home. And now 2:11 left as the clock stops. And the pressure brought the heat. And so Seattle brought the heat right on Matthew Stafford, and it worked. They rush him. And now Darnold warms up. Harrison Mevis getting set to kick this go-ahead field goal. But either way, there's too much time left for Sam Darnold to work his magic. Mevis is free for free tonight. His longest is 52 yards. This is from 48. From the left hash. The kick is up. And it is no good! It looked like it was heading down the middle, but he missed it wide right. And the special teams issues, which seem to have been solved by the time he was picked up after Joshua Carty was waived, have resurfaced at the worst possible time. Unbelievable. And now Seattle has a chance to pick up their first win as a franchise after trailing by at least 15 points entering the 4th quarter. They are previously 0-172 in this situation. We are tied at 30. All they need is for Jason Myers to get into field goal range. Motion man is the other rookie tight end as Charbonnet gets the early run. Just a short pickup, 1 or 2 yards. Or so it's Nick Callerup in motion. And so we get into the 2-minute warning. So, will we see magic here from Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith-Njigba? Let's recap this fourth quarter. It would have been the quarter of a lifetime for the Seahawks. Rashid Shaheed with a punt return touchdown that gave them life. And Darnold finding Cooper Kupp on the tightest of windows. Darnold finds A.J. Barner wide open at the end zone. And then the wildest two-point play that you may ever see. A backwards pass that hits Jared Verse's helmet, goes forward, and then scooped up by Zach Charbonnet in the end zone after Cam Curl could not recover it. And then just now, Harrison Mevis misses a 48-yarder. The Rams need a stop at the right moment. Well, either way, this has been a fun one. But if you're a fan of either one of these teams, it's understandable to feel stressed. Again, it's natural, the emotions of a fan going through all the emotions of a game. 2nd and 8. And you can assume that Darnold's going to throw now. Ball is at the Seattle 40. Motioning left is Jason. The first down marker is the Seattle 48. Kenneth Walker motions right, then goes back into shotgun. Darnold drops back. Rushed. And runs right into Verse and Turner. Both of them were there. And it makes things harder for Seattle. The Rams are going to use their second timeout here. The leverage used by Turner has been outstanding as he gets by Zabel, who had an excellent start, but has had a rough couple of sequences in this game. Verse does a good job at beating out Josh Jones along the left edge, and Turner bulldozes through Zabel up the middle. 3rd and 17, right after that sack, which is a loss of 9 yards. The worst case scenario would be an interception in your own territory. On the motion left is Cooper Kupp for his hometown team, up against his former team. On shotgun, Darnold gets it out quickly, tipped, and incomplete, knocked down the line. The Rams have life again. And once again, it's Turner in the midst of it again. The conductor. Kobe Turner having the game of his life. An interception, 2 sacks, a pass batted down, and he is all fired up now. This trio of him, Byron Young, and Jared Verse, all feared. As Dixon gets this up, Xavier Smith back deep, calling for the fair catch at the 12. And with 1:42 left, Matthew Stafford, he is at the position of what he does best. He has 50 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter or overtime, the most among active players. The last time was week 4 against the Colts. One play on 88-yard touchdown strike to Tutu Atwell. He has 102 seconds to make magic happen. His hand-eye coordination, his leadership, his clutch gene, all important factors for the Rams to steal victory. And hold on, from shotgun, Stafford looking, gets it away. And that was short of Williams. There was pressure from all angles. 2nd and 10 now, with 98 seconds left. What a game this has been. This feels like a playoff game. Leonard Williams has been all over everything for Seattle's defense. Colby Parkinson to the right of Warren McClendon Jr. Stafford slings it down the field. Wide open! Puka Nacua! Who else? Marked down at the 41-yard line, and he eclipses 150. 101 against Devon Witherspoon. Best on best matchup as he uses outstretched arms to get open. 9 catches, Warren 16 yards. Here comes the blitz. Stafford gets it off quickly, throws it away. Closest receiver was Parkinson. The clock stops with 1:06, so that's the benefit of the incompletion. That time they brought in a blitzing safety, and here's Polka with his first straight game of at least 150 plus receiving yards, tied for the longest streak in NFL history with CeeDee Lamb 2 years ago. Now you need about 25 more yards to set Harrison Mevis up for a shot of redemption. 2nd and 10. Parkinson in motion again. Seahawks send 4 after Stafford. Stafford pump fakes. Ball is tipped but caught anyway. That is Kanata Mumpfield. A yard shy of first down. And now we have an injured Seahawk on the field. 3rd and inches. You believe that LA will run it up the middle at any moment. Jaron Reed is the injured man. Harrison Mevis, once again, his longest field goal is 52 yards. For this first year kicker, this is his 7th career game in the NFL. He played college ball at Missouri. Nick Eamon made sure that Mumpfield did not get the first down, rookie on rookie. 53 seconds left, and because of the injury, Seattle has charged their final timeout. An injury within the final 2 minutes of a half. Reed is helped up. But that was rather Eamon who was hurt, making that tackle right on Mumpfield. He's walking on his own power, so he's going to sit down for some sequences. Whether or not he is good to go for the rest of the game is TBD. Crowd getting loud here as Stafford readies back up. Sean McVay wants to have a word with him. The Rams are going to hold on to that timeout for when they can kick that field goal. And you got a shot down the field. 53 seconds left. They have ruled that Mumpfield got the first down. So Eamon is out for this sequence. Kobe Bryant was there earlier. 62 seconds. They have put 62 seconds on the clock. It was previously 53. They set it back to 62. Well, it shows 25. He's wondering whether the play clock is accurate and the game clock, if it's accurate. He wants to know if it's correct. We're all lost at what is happening here. But in this crazy game, we've seen a lot of action. We don't know why the clock has stopped. And now there's the whistle. And here we go. 1:02 left. Can Stafford do it again? Polka is in the slot at the right side. 2 right, 2 left. Shotgun set. Williams the running back. Seahawks send 4 again. Stafford looks. Double pump fakes. And dropped. Witherspoon in coverage. Mumpfield to target again. 57 to go. So he was sitting back again. That time the offensive line was getting hurried up. And it forced Stafford to make a quick decision. Breer, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns, 25 of 41 is Stafford. And to work something here on 2nd and 10. And here he is, throwing towards the right side. Dropped again! Parkinson with his 2nd drop tonight. And it's not been a kind day for Parkinson and Allen, the two starting tight ends. 3rd and 10. And you'd assume that if the Rams don't get this one, they would be punting. You have to take 3rd and 10 here. Tutu Atwell is out there for the first time in this quarter. Puka Nacua. Wide out to the right. And Stafford overthrows his man. He was looking for Polka way too soon. Now it's 4th down, and the Rams are going to punt, so Harrison Mevis will not get his shot. Now do remember, the Seahawks are out of timeouts. And Drake Thomas deserves a lot of credit for that sequence for taking away those reads. Up high. Rashid Shaheed is back deep. Ethan Evans, punter. It's up. And this will be called for a fair catch around the 14 by Shaheed. No timeouts left for the Seahawks with 42 seconds. Can they work something out from their own 14? Is this the drive? Jason Myers has a good leg. You gotta have to get that first completion, first and foremost. Jason Myers, 2025 is this year is 34 field goals on the season. And his 35th. He does have the leg to make it the distance. They're going to start for the 15, not the 14. Crop motions all the way to the right. Rams send 4. Darnold looking short towards Charbonnet. Charbonnet for the middle. And they're going to have to clock it here. 34, 33, 32. Everyone rushes back onto the line at the Seahawks 27. And Darnold spikes it. 29 seconds left. The ball is at the 28-yard line now as Eman Worry will join Kobe Bryant at the locker room. So the Seahawks are down 2 key defenders of their secondary. They lost Bryant earlier, and now they've lost Eman Worry. Nakua had a sensational night. We'll see if the Seahawks can spoil the party for Polka. Darnold gonna look, extra pressure, and he cannot escape the pressure! Who'd have thought this time? And Seattle's just going to let this one tick down to overtime. The last 2 times Seattle had the ball, the defensive line stepped up in a huge way. We'll have an extra 10 minutes at the very most. Winner takes control of the 1 seed and the NFC West. If Seattle wins it, they will mark their ticket to the playoffs. So, how about it? Tied at 30. After 60 minutes, it'll go at most 70. Stafford's warming up. And for all you fancy owners out there, this may be your dream. For overtime records who won the coin toss and chose to receive, teams are 2-2. For teams that chose to kick, 2-5-1. So now it's a stark contrast between the 2 of them. The Stafford's coming on to midfield. Opposite him is JSN. So we have 1 10-minute period. Each team will have the opportunity to possess the ball unless the team kicking off the start overtime scores a safety on the receiving team's initial possession or time runs out during the first possession. If teams are tied after 1 possession each, the next score wins the game. This game can end a tie. Each team gets 2 timeouts. And neither team has a challenge. So, see what the Rams call. The Seahawks win the toss. The Rams called heads. The Seahawks have elected to receive the kick. So now, Jason wanting to cap off this night for Seattle, trying to send them to the playoffs. So, now, let's see how we grow in overtime. We'll be back in a moment. Oh, man. Football. How can you not be romantic about it? A game that is for all the marbles. NFC West on the line. Seattle is kicking first. Jason Myers sends it off. LA is going to receive it at the 7. So here we go. Ronnie Rivers on the return. Rivers splits the gap. Rivers past the 40. Stays on his feet. Flag down as he's down near midfield. Now we check the penalty. The flag is all the way back at the 28-yard line. So the penalty is on Sean Dolak, the rookie, during that return. So Dolak came from the University of Buffalo. Has just cost the Rams valuable field position with that penalty. So LA now starting deep in their own territory. The Seahawks won the toss and deferred, just like they did to start this game. So the Seahawks are trusting their defense. They're going to stop. And after that comeback, it's been all defense. And it's been on the shine. From the 20. Stafford straight drop back. Short pass. Completes it over to Puka. And he fights his way to the 29. 2nd and 1. And for Puka Nacua, that is his 10th catch of the game. He has recorded 177 receiving yards. The last 5 possessions for the Rams could not have gone any worse. 4 punts. And on top of that, a missed field goal. Have a chance to take the lead. 2nd and 1. With the clock rolling. Terrence Ferguson is the tight end out there on the right side. It's a free tight end set. Ferguson motions left. On the rollout, Stafford will look. Stafford goes back right. Wide open for the first down is Corum. Past the 40 and then out at the 43. At the backfield, Blake Corum getting himself involved early in the extra session. Stafford eclipsed 400 passing yards tonight. He's 27 of 45 for 409 yards and 2 touchdowns. An MVP-like performance for the MVP frontrunner. This is his best shot at the award after all these years. He has got a winning record for the first time in his career at age 38. Playing like he is prime Tom Brady or prime Aaron Rodgers. Here's Stafford on a deep drop back, escaping the pressure. Now heaves it deep down the field, overthrown. He was looking towards Ferguson again. It stops the clock with 8:29 left. And a lot of coverage on the play. But Ferguson was wide open on the look. And there was nobody on that second level. Neither Stafford nor Ferguson were on the same page. Ferguson was the open man. But that was a little over. The fans are taking their shirts off here at Lumen Field. Getting their feet up. Getting loud. From shotgun Stafford. Dropping back. Heaving this one deep down the right field. Flag down. Intercepted. No, it's dropped. Incomplete. As Love could not hold on the coverage. But here's a freebie. Ernest Jones called for illegal contact. So even if this was intercepted, it was going to be wiped off either way. 5-yard penalty and automatic first down as Jones Jones got a little head check right on Puka Nacua. A good call by Brad Allen and his crew. That puts the Rams closer. 8:23 left as the clock was stopped after that penalty. Davis Allen motions left. On the run, this is Corum. He gets ahead. Past midfield at the Seattle 49, where he is met by Leonard Williams. And right now, as we're speaking, Nick Eamon is being evaluated for a concussion, so he's being placed on protocol. The jack of all trades for the Seattle defense, and the runaway favorite for Defensive Rookie of the Year. 2nd and 6. Josh Jobe matched up with Colby Parkinson. And here's Stafford on shotgun one more time. Dumps out for the middle. Bobbled! Intercepted! Ernest Jones! with the pick. Off the bubble pass from Corum. Went off of Blake Corum's hands, and the drops just keep piling up for the Rams. The former Ram, Ernest Jones the fourth, who scoops it up from the bottom, and he was able to secure this ball. We'll have to see if he maintained full control of it. It did not look like it hit the ground. We'll see from another angle if it did touch the ground at any point to protect it. Well, it looks like it's incomplete because it touched the ground at one point. Well, but either way, you have to firmly grasp it. That was 2nd and 6. So if it is ruled incomplete, it is 3rd and 6. So it's an official review. The ball looked like it touched the ground from another angle. So from there, it's going to reverse the ruling. Jones would be devastated if this is ruled an incomplete pass. So we'll get the ruling from Allen. Fans are not happy of that ruling, but it did touch the ground from another angle. The sideline angle was the best possible view of what we could get it. It is an incomplete pass. So Stafford is breathing a sigh of relief. So the interception is wiped off. 3rd and 6. So Stafford and his offense need to take shots towards the middle of the field. And here, that 12th man, which is the crowd, rising up on their feet. They're trying to distract Stafford and company. 7:42 to go here in OT. First down marker is the Seattle 43. They need to get there. Seattle blitzes. Stafford hits, he threw it. Caught! Nakua! First down! Flag is down, however. Another flag, and it looks like this is going to come back. Mike McDonald, not happy. Well, never mind. This is not coming back. It is a first down by catch because Boy and Maffei line up in the neutral zone. 7:37 to go here in OT. So Maffei is being subbed out, and Puka has his 11th catch of this game. Winning the one-on-one matchup with Josh Jobe, he is taking advantage of throughout this game. And Sean McVay is running down the sideline like a supportive coach. 11 catches for 184 yards. It's Puka. Here's the run from Kyron Williams. He goes nowhere. Still not in field goal range yet. They get Nakua back onto the field for second down. 3 minutes gone here in the extra session. 30-30 is our current scoreline. And what a night that Puka's had tonight. 11 catches were 84 yards. JSN 6 catches, 75 yards. 2nd and 9. Right now it's Colby Parkinson, who's been very much maligned for his drops. Off the play fake, Stafford. Gonna look for it. Through the middle. Hauled in by Nakua. Off to the races. Touchdown! Have a night, Puka Nakua! Stafford waited for the second window to open up. His first read taken away, and after the reversed interception, he gets himself new life and finds Nakua wide open at the middle. Nobody could catch him. That puts Stafford at 457 passing yards and Nakua at 225 receiving yards. How about this from this connection? The extra point is good, and all the Rams need to do is hold off Seattle. What a game! What a game. What a night for these two. Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, electric. And this could be instant game of the week material on a classic. And something of note that ever since Patrick Mahomes entered the league, either one of the Kansas City Chiefs or the Los Angeles Rams have been to the Super Bowl. Neither of them but both teams have never been to the Super Bowl at the same time. They have never faced off against one another in a Super Bowl matchup. 2018, the Rams. 2019, Chiefs. 2020, Chiefs. 2021, Rams. And then the previous 3 years, the Chiefs. And they have accounted for 4 of those Super Bowl victories. Ethan Evans kicks off. Back deep is Rashid Shaheed, who is not going to return it. And so the Seahawks must go 65 yards for the win, assuming that they go for 2 to get the victory. It's been an up and down night for Sam Darnold. 17-28, 221 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. But it's one of those games which is that's why you're the MVP type of moments for Matthew Stafford. First play is a run from Kenneth Walker. First hole is closed off. Gets a block from JSN. Wrapped up by Forbes. And taken out of bounds with 6:19 left. Clock still rolls here in overtime. And the Seahawks go methodical to begin this drive. LA's defense has had Darnold's number over the last few drives. Kobe Turner being in the middle of it all. 4 yards from Walker. Jared Verse, the reigning Defensive Rookie of the Year. Opposite Byron Young, you also have Omar Spates on his defense. Play fake, as here's Darnold being chased by Turner, who falls down. Darnold gets it up. Wide open, first down catch! Tiptoeing down, all 10 of them. JSN, Action Jackson. Pressure again from Turner. Darnold recognizes it and he throws towards a tight window. JSN with the awareness to make sure all 10 of his feet were down. Excellent concentration onto that. He is flirting with 100 receiving yards right now. He's at 92. Ball at the LA 44. Darnold rolls out. Chased by Ford. Heaves it out towards the Seattle sideline. 2nd and 10 now, 5:13 with the clock stopped. The pressure from Ford, who previously was with the Seahawks, now with the Rams. Charles Cross, absent for this game because of an injury. Josh Jones has had a rough time filling in on that left tackle side. Shows the importance of what Cross means to this team. Seattle changes the formation. They put Cup at the swap at the left. JSN wide to the right with Forbes opposite him. On the shotgun, Darnold. He looks for the middle. Incomplete. Is there a flag? And yes, there is. Emmanuel Forbes, one-on-one with JSN. Got a little too antsy. And yes, it is Emmanuel Forbes who got a little too antsy with JSN, putting his hands right onto his chest to try to prevent him from getting a catch. Big no-no. Hooks that right hand, preventing JSN from getting a clean catch. The officials knew that immediately. It's a free first down with 5:09 to go here in overtime. Ball at the LA 39. And here is Kenneth Walker. Walker upended by Kobe Durant on a 2-yard pickup. He went flying like a helicopter. Smith-Njigba comes back. He has Kenneth Walker has 100 rushing yards now. all 92 of JSN's receiving yards have come after halftime, averaging 13.1 yards per catch. You can think about rushing the quarterback if you're LA. That means Byron Young, Kobe Turner, Jared Verse, or maybe some of your other guys, Puna Ford, or Tyler Davis. Here's Darnold on the drop back with shotgun. Darnold, he's one up on the right side. Holding! Cooper Kupp at the 15 for his hometown team. And it sets up first down at that spot. A tight window, and he drags his right foot to keep it both feet in bounds. The former Super Bowl MVP getting things going for Seattle. Darnold throwing again. He dumps one off. Quick pass to Charbonnet. Not much out of that one. Just 2 yards. Second down and 8. Don't need to go hurry up right now. That fumble, he had that play. It doesn't matter anymore. Second and 8. With 4 minutes to go in this overtime. Both teams 11-3. Seattle trying to get an unlikely victory after trailing by 16 to begin the fourth quarter. Single back set, motion left to Shaheed. Another play fake from Darnold. He rolls out towards his right with Young on his face. Gets it off to the tight end Barner. And it's 3rd and 2. A.J. Barner being more involved with the Seahawks every passing day. Now the question is, if you're Seattle, do you go for 2 or do you kick the extra point? So and now, if this game ends in a tie, the Rams hold tiebreaker because of the earlier victory against Seattle. Running free, here's Charbonnet through the middle. Charbonnet powers for the first down. Down at the 3. First and goal with Landman saving a touchdown. We're approaching the 3-minute mark of overtime, and you figured that Seattle may want to score sooner than later. Or rather right now. And now whistles blow for a timeout. It is the Rams calling timeout with 3:17 left. Their first of this overtime session. Seattle clinches a playoff spot with a win. And it's a shame that one of these two teams would have to lose, knowing how hard fought of a battle it's been between Sean McVay's Rams and Mike Macdonald's Seahawks. Could be the last time that we see that this crowd sees this team at home, which is why the win is more important as ever for Seattle. It comes down to this drive for how it finishes out. Ball at the 4. First and goal. 3 to the right and 1 to the left. Motioning left to Shaheed. And Byron Young wanting to rush towards Darnold. Here he is. To the middle. Caught! Touchdown! Action! Jackson! And now, the decision. What a drive by the Seahawks! And Quint Kubiak. And they say they're going for 2. Mike Macdonald and company say, if we get here and score, we're going for 2 for the win. So now, what play are they going to draw up on the 2-point try for the win? 1 play to decide it. Shotgun set and a timeout called by the Rams again to try and ice the Seahawks looking to counter. That's their final timeout. It's a play for all the marbles. Make it, and you take the 1 seed and a playoff spot. Fail, and you stay at a wild card spots while LA controls their destiny as the 1 seed. JSN kept both feet down and inbounds. And now it comes down to this. Jackson Smith-Njigba, Sam Darnold, and the Seahawks looking to go to the playoffs for the first time in the Mike McDonald era. From a 3% chance, while trailing by 16, to a possible victory, all it comes down to is this play. Watch for the one-on-one matchup between Forbes and Jason at the right side. Cup in motion, right and then back left. And now Seattle is calling timeout. How long is this going to take? So we'll see what formation each team is going with. It feels like the sequence of timeouts is basically like playing a game of chicken. It looks like the Seahawks are going to change things up. Stafford and Nakua with one another on the sidelines. Crack some jokes with one another. While Darnold is focused on getting this win. One play. That's all that matters. And you got to be perfect on this one. No room for error. Sam Darnold looking for redemption and picking up one of his first wins against the Rams in a while. Shotgun set. Watch for that formation on the right side. A.J. Barner motions towards the left. And here's Darnold. Everything's covered towards the middle. Caught! For the win! Unbelievable! Seattle's going to the playoffs! Eric Saubert did not have a catch before this 2-point conversion. And here, he makes the biggest catch of the Seahawks season. Saubert, in the midst of this close game, what a match here in Seattle. The loudest that we heard from a Seattle sports crowd since the single from Jorge Polanco for the Mariners against the Detroit Tigers. They'll win it 3-2 in the 15th inning in Game 5 of the ALDS. Sam Darnold to Eric Saubert, wide open in the middle. No targets in this game. It's a block and release curl. And the Rams defense got completely lost in the sauce. They fall to a wild card spot. Came to the backside. Get the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And everybody is celebrating here in Seattle. And all the dividends are paid off. So to wrap this up, here are your final stats. Matthew Stafford, 29 of 49, 457 yards, 3 touchdowns. MVP-like performance despite the loss. Puka Nacua accounted for 225 of those 457 yards from Stafford on 12 catches. 2 touchdowns with it. Terrence Ferguson, 3 catches, 43 yards, and 1 touchdown. Xavier Smith, 2 catches, 57 yards. But what ultimately doomed the Rams were the costly drops. David Allen, Colby Parkinson, and Blake Corum, namely. Kobe Durant recovered the lone fumble that was from Cooper Kupp, in which he lost it. The interceptions came from Kobe Turner and Josh Wallace. There was one wiped off from Ernest Jones. Sam Darnold threw 2 picks, but overcame that 22 of 34, 270 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker, 11 carries, 100 yards, and 1 touchdown. Zach Charbonnet, 9 carries, 32 yards, and a touchdown. Jackson Smith-Njigba, 8 catches for 96 yards, and a touchdown. A.J. Barner, 4 catches, 49 yards, and a touchdown. Kenneth Walker, 3 catches, 64 yards. What a game this was. And that's going to do it from Seattle, but before we go, I have to end this off on a somber note. Earlier today, we have just received confirmation that Greg Biffle and his wife and 2 kids have tragically passed away in a plane accident at Statesville Regional Airport. Biffle, a former NASCAR driver, had recorded 19 wins throughout his NASCAR career. His first career victory being at Daytona International Speedway in the 2003 Pepsi 400. One of the best NASCAR drivers of all time, and an even better humanitarian when off the track. He assisted in recovery efforts in western North Carolina in Hurricane Helene with his helicopter, helping out in rescue efforts for those impacted. And our condolences go out to the Biffle family and those closest to him. As we say, good night. Keep him in your thoughts.